we just getting a quick check from you guys one at a time real quick?
Hello.
Mic check, mic check.
Check, check, check.
Mic check, mic check, check.
All right. Whenever you are ready, I'll start that intro.
I'm ready.
I don't fade it out either, right? You can just let it drop.
Yeah, just let it go.
All right, guys, here you go.
Airplane mode, airplane mode, airplane mode.
Shit.
My bag really.
I'm nervous.
For what?
Be nervous.
Shit.
Yeah, Helena, you just forgot your life today, girl.
No lighter.
No, I mean like I could smoke in the studio.
I don't know.
Maybe one day.
That would be
That's the
crazy.
dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Check, check, check. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, that means you now tuned into chapter 88. Damn, 88 of the Introverted Intuition podcast. My name is Jeff, aka the Ambitious Introvert. I'm back.
Oh, the ambitious introvert.
Yeah,
Okay.
Petty Podcaster is officially
Deceased.
for now. I think I've been petty recently, like the recent, but not as intensely on the podcast. If you're hearing this podcast, probably the episode before this is the episode that my co-host did without me, so the reviews for that will be out. But I'm looking forward to hearing from my co-host today how that went. Please introduce yourselves to the people, or reintroduce yourselves to the people.
Hi, I'm Coco.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man CR908 representing Jump Out the Frank.
Hi, it's Helena. I mean, Lainey. It's me. I'm here.
Hello, you.
I'll leave it right here. So.
I missed y'all.
Oh, we missed you. It felt weird last week.
Jeff,
It did feel a little weird.
Even outside of the podcast, y'all actually hung out
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
How was that for y'all?
It was fun.
Was it fun?
It
Who's
really
lying?
was.
Who's lying
No,
right
it was
now?
fun. We had fun. I had fun.
Okay,
I
let's
had
let's
fun.
rewind to the podcast that y'all did, the interview. How did y'all,
Yes, what-
how did that go in y'all minds?
I felt like it was pretty natural, especially for an unnatural situation where Jeff's not there. And one thing I noticed, Coco was talking a lot more, and I loved it. She was talking
Okay.
so much more.
I'm a
I
little
was,
chatty Cathy.
I was like, okay.
Were y'all on something, or were y'all all sober?
I'm always high, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Give or take.
How was the guest? I mean, obviously, I didn't.
She was an awesome
I
sauce.
just got the audio today, so I didn't hear it. But
Why you don't want to play it yet? You nervous?
no, like it's late. Like I was supposed to
Oh.
been got it, but they just sent it to me.
Okay, yeah.
So y'all did an interview. Like, who was? You started off the show, CR? Like with the intro.
Yes, I did the exact Jeff intro.
Can you do it again, like right now, so I can hear it, like before
All
the
right,
episode
all right,
goes
I'll
out?
play the music in my head for a second.
Okay.
All right. Check, check, check. If you're now listening to... Hold on.
Oh, that's not even it.
That was my fault. I messed them up.
I got it.
started
I
laughing.
got it.
I started laughing.
Check, check, check. If you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, you are now tuned in to chapter 88 of the Introverted Intuition podcast. This is the Petty Podcaster.
That's all the way wrong. You
I
tried to
mean,
make
it
it.
was something along those lines,
Yeah.
and then
I
he
tried.
CR'd it up.
but I,
CR'd it up.
But I still, made it sound good. I
it was good.
represented.
You didn't scare the guest off. The guest will come back. Will she come back or not?
Of course, she will
Michelle-
come back.
Michelle- Y'all
definitely
want her
come
back?
Yeah,
She's dope.
definitely.
She told good stories.
Okay, I can't wait to hear that. I mean, if you guys listen to this podcast, it's already out there, so you know how they did. And how else was that? How else did that week go for y'all? Like, what did y'all do? Like that weekend or whatever.
Such a blur. I don't know.
Oh, I thought y'all were together like the entirety of like that weekend, like or that
That
night.
was
Oh, you said
the 26th.
What are
I
you
don't know.
implying, Jeff?
yeah, like I don't know.
What are you implying?
Like, we was all together that whole weekend. Like
That y'all was chilling.
Nah, like
I didn't know. Like I wasn't.
we did the show. We didn't chill that day.
no, we didn't chill that day after the show.
We all walked.
Yeah.
I know Michelle took the A train. Coco disappeared.
Yeah, I did.
And then Lainey, she went straight.
Yeah, everybody did
Straight.
Houdini.
Yeah. But I mean, I was supposed to go to this party that same night. Remember?
Yeah.
I didn't go, y'all.
No.
Nah, bro. Like, I honestly wasn't. I mean, I had a great day that day, but it was a full day. And then by the time it was time to go to that party, I was tired as shit.
Yeah.
I pulled up. I literally called the promoter, like, yo, you here, bro? I'll just come in, get a drink, and be out. This nigga not even there. It's 11 p.m.
It's too early for the promoter to be there at 11 p.m.
It's his party.
But it's Jersey, so it's a stop at
Listen,
2.
you
That's
know
what
how this works.
exactly I'm saying.
It's the
should
same
be
thing we went
there.
through with the after work.
But-
if it's an after work, it starts at 5. It really isn't going to get live till maybe
That's
8:30.
true.
And
That's true.
CP
If
time.
it's- yeah.
But he even said he
CP
should have
time
been there, though. So
It's still
Wait, you
over
went there and he wasn't. You
Exactly.
Oh no, you bugged out.
exactly. So at least it was in Newark, though.
Yeah,
Right?
okay, that's not that far.
Yeah.
So he said it's 30 minutes. I'm like, man, I'm about to go see the Warriors, man. Watch the Warriors play. So that's what I did that night. But I went to a yacht party the next day.
That was cool,
I
right?
think I saw
That
snaps
shit.
from that.
That shit was live, bro.
He was,
It was fun.
he was
It
on,
was
the,
fun.
on the yacht.
Yeah, man, there was some good performances, a lot of good-looking people. It was like, a lot of liquor, a lot of weed,
A lot of fun.
a lot of
Word.
fun.
Was there
It
food
just-
too?
Funny story about the food,
Uh-oh.
bro. Oh my god. All right, so there's a tray. There's 4 trays. There's 3 trays of rice and 1 tray of chicken. Go
I don't know how
figure.
that works.
Wait,
but okay.
what?
Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure. Right?
Well,
That's-
that would be
that's
perfect for
offensive.
me because I love rice.
That's really how it's
so-
supposed to be, but that's not how
That's
people
offensive,
eat. So
right?
yeah.
But here's
Need
the
more chicken.
exactly right. But here's the thing. Niggas can't wait. So somebody from upstairs, because there's 2 levels. The food was downstairs, and there was like a Spanish level where it was like hella, Latin music and like bachata, salsa,
Merengue.
merengue. It was dope down there, right? Then upstairs it was like the hip hop or whatever. So somebody from upstairs went downstairs,
Took the chicken.
took the chicken,
Of course, hell yeah.
took the whole tray of chicken, made an announcement, told everybody, hey. We got chicken, y'all. Right? And then he put it on the table, and it was like vultures.
Really?
It was like flies going towards a turd. It was crazy, yo. And I'm not gonna lie, I got my ass up in it. I already know.
You got your chicken?
I got my
Okay.
chicken. I got me 2 pieces. It was good, too.
I want to interview that guy. Fuck, where you at?
I don't know.
Because that's like you putting yourself out there to either get attacked and potentially drop the
He
chicken.
didn't even care.
Yeah, he
That's
bugged
that
out.
New York shit.
Yeah,
I
pretty
respect
much.
that, yo. I was just like, yo, he really was Robin Hood that night.
Word.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
Robin Hood of chicken.
Robin Hood and chicken.
I saw fucking Avengers. That's the reason why I wasn't at.
Please
Still
don't tell me
haven't seen
anything about it. I'm going to see it this weekend, please. No
Damn, I was
spoilers.
about to spoil the
no
whole shit.
He sure enough was.
Please.
Damn.
I beg you.
I beg you.
Don't tell me anything.
I came in here with a full review.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's all good.
You was
I'm
really gonna destroy
sorry.
for the people who didn't watch it. I
not
hope you would
right.
put like spoiler in the caption of the show, like
I
spoiler.
probably would, but
Petty.
the
No, you
directors of the
wouldn't have.
movie are lifting a ban of the spoiler shit on Monday. This should be this should be out way after Monday. So, yeah, I was ready to spoil it.
No.
You wanted me to. I remember you was like, yeah,
Oh
you wanted me
yeah,
to
at
talk
this
about
point,
it.
just spoil it because I don't think I'm gonna watch it anytime soon.
You-
I feel like I have an idea of what happened. I've heard about it so much. Instagram will spoil the fuck out of everything from
That's what they did
Game
for
of
me with-
Thrones to
yeah.
Endgame.
That's what they did for me with Game of Thrones, and that's why because I was in the process of watching every episode up to the recent shit, and I was like, fuck it, I'm on season 3. Let me stop and just watch it. I already saw it all anyways. So I just wanted to see it again.
How'd you feel about it?
The last episode.
Yeah. The most recent one, yeah.
You still catch
I know we are not doing that. I know we are
Okay.
not talking
What?
about Game of Thrones.
Why not? You saw
No,
the spoilers on Instagram already?
I didn't see that many spoilers. Like I still don't know what's going on. All I know is Arya's supposed to be the fucking pimp guy Jesus, and that's all I
See?
need to know.
All I'll
See?
say about this episode.
But I know nothing about. Listen,
yeah, he
Yeah, I'm
did,
not-
but he can say how he feels without actually giving anything away.
All
Like
I'm
there was
saying-
there was
Yeah.
issues that people had with it,
All
like a
I'm
lot
saying-
of issues,
Yeah, I didn't.
unnecessarily.
People.
It was
didn't-
too dark. I heard.
I liked it.
Too dark for Game
It was
of
too dark
Thrones?
because of I guess a lot of people, most people watch it on a digital format. No,
Yeah.
so how it's put together, it's not really made for that. I would
Oh,
think, right?
literally too
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
too
like
dark.
the
You
way
couldn't
they
see
shot
what was going on.
That's why I was like,
Yeah.
wait,
But
it's Game of
the
Thrones.
episode is called The Long Night.
Hello, that implies
what do y'all
some night
want?
going to be happening.
Do y'all want the sun to be out? Do y'all want get the fuck out of here? Like,
right here.
but
The long night.
that's what it's
It's called The Long
Episode
Night.
3, The Long Night.
I don't know what the episode is called.
I just told you.
The
It's
Long
not-
I ain't know before. Now I know the
It's
long
not a
night.
spoiler. It didn't ruin anything.
I mean, the way my mind works, the way I jump to conclusions
I
in life.
knew you was thinking.
Like,
what's
the
your
long
sign
night.
again, yo?
Virgo.
Imagine it.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I don't
my
know.
boy
It
right
slipped
there.
out.
But yeah,
No unity around.
I didn't mind like the lighting,
Yeah,
but everything else I did not really like.
really.
terrible.
It was overhyped. That's what I'll say.
Mm.
And what I will say is the next 3 episodes, or the last 3 episodes of the series, that will make or break the legacy that the show will leave behind. And
I don't think it's gonna make or break it. The legacy of the quote unquote show is really based on books, so that's the real legacy. I feel.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's gonna have its own legacy, but I don't think it's gonna ruin it.
Well, the legacy in terms of like people saying, "Oh, the book is better than the show," I think that'll make or break that argument.
But we
The
always,
last 3 episodes.
no matter what it is, the book is always better.
Yeah, it's more detailed.
There's never been a movie I feel like that has been able to capture the book.
I can make a case that that's completely wrong, but if I had time to
Go
think
ahead.
if I had time, next episode I got you.
Okay.
I
Still gonna
think
go home and think about it.
if Bill Street could talk, I like the movie more than the book.
See, I didn't do neither, so I can't say anything yet. But
movie
now
was
I
good.
have
I've
things
seen
to
it.
do.
I
this-
cried. I
That's
cried.
deep.
Yeah. Fuck out of here.
What?
That sounds so fake. Like, that's deep. You cry. Like,
Mind you, he was being genuine.
is he?
I
Was
was.
he? I didn't
like he
feel
was.
it.
I'm sorry. It was dry, but it wasn't intentional. It wasn't
I
intentional.
mean, you better
little
see her
dry.
comment than mine.
It was
I would
evil.
have been like, of course.
Yeah, I'm emotional. Yeah. You know me. You know me more than I know myself during certain conversations, apparently.
Okay.
So that was my weekend. I saw that movie. I was disappointed. I got good ass food at the iPick.
You was disappointed at Endgame?
Yeah, I was disappointed in game. I'll leave it at that because you already said
Yes,
it.
thank
I'll
you.
leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
He's
But
about
I
to
wanted
start
to say
huffing and
something. But
puffing.
I did think about you too just now. Don't worry. Sorry.
Oh man, you guys are so good to me. Thank you.
And the rest of that weekend, like I was just home. I wasn't really feeling too well, and I started teaching myself how to play the piano through this like piano app.
We saw. We heard.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't respond to the
didn't-
text.
We did it because we
Wait,
weren't sure what was gonna happen next. We were
Wait.
waiting for another development.
Wait,
Was
wait.
there
That's
gonna
what
be
the
a sample
YouTube link
sent to
was.
us?
No,
What?
Oh.
I sent a YouTube link of, I think yesterday.
Oh.
I think that was just a group of series of videos I wanted y'all to see.
It was
No.
only one though. I thought.
But I think I said that there was like more to it.
Yeah, I didn't see any more, but I watched the one.
I think the reason why y'all didn't click my link or you respond to my text is because I feel like I have a history of not doing that in the past, especially with you.
What do you mean, especially with me, son? Sometimes there ain't nothing to say after that. Like, what is there to say? Okay,
But let me know y'all
great.
live. Let me know y'all
Sounds
there.
great.
Just let me.
The fuck? It's okay.
I usually say, okay, cool.
Oh, when we see each
Yeah.
other, we'll comment on it. It's
at least,
okay.
At least give me the okay, cool.
Okay.
No,
I'll
I'm
make
definitely
sure
not
it's
gonna
okay.
give it.
cool. I
I
gotta
mean,
do a
that's the
better
least I can
job of
do.
like keeping up with, because sometimes I come in mad late. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're the busiest.
well, I don't want to make that an excuse or
You're
I
on-
mean,
you're on
sometimes
tour
just
right
let
now,
it run.
right?
Just let it
Isn't-
work for you.
How was that event that y'all went to on? What was that Wednesday?
It was fun.
Yeah.
I want to hear your guys' take
was
on
fun.
it. And I
Wait,
have-
where was it? Paint
It's
the
nice,
scene
strong
for the,
drinks.
Paint the scene for the audience.
It's at Woodlands, and if anybody familiar with Brooklyn, the famous brunch place on Flatbush by Barclays.
Right. So when we first came, we went downstairs. It was me and Coco at first, and it was early.
Dumb early.
But so you're gonna call it a brunch, but
5 o'clock at night.
but it's 5 o'clock at night. I'm confused. I
It's
don't know what that
Brooklyn.
is.
It works.
I guess so. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first red flag. Then I should have never came that early. It was funny
It's a
because
little too early.
I asked you guys in the chat like, "Yo, let me know if you guys are coming before or after me." Lainey was like, "After," with like exclamation points. And I'm like, "Yo, she already knew."
After.
Coco didn't want me to be by myself
Yeah.
because she knew too.
I saw that he was coming early, so I was just like, all
I'm
right,
a
I'll
fool.
meet you.
I came out early.
Wait, what time did it officially start?
5 o'clock.
Oh, you got there.
No,
no.
wait. Do you mean officially start by what time did it start really get jumping? Because that was like 8:30.
Oh yeah, that was
No.
at like 8:30.
No,
got
not
jumping.
that.
But
I
on
wanna
the
fast forward.
flyer,
Yeah, on the flyer.
it said 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get there until like what 6:30, almost 7.
That's kind of a reasonable time.
Exactly what
CR, you got there at 6:15.
All right, 6:15. All right, nowhere near 7.
Wasn't you in traffic too?
No, it was actually
too
pretty
bad.
smooth. Yeah, and I found great parking, like literally right next, like on the same block.
You should have knew something was wrong when you found parking.
That's what
Actually,
she
what I told him. Yeah,
said.
that's actually what I told him.
That's exactly what.
That's
Coco
how it works.
said.
When you find parking easily,
That's
it
when
usually means
know.
you're gonna have a shitty time.
But I ended up having a great
Normally,
time.
but if you have to struggle for parking, it's usually that you'll have a bomb ass time.
Merging.
And I had my 2 cousins there. One was the person who promoted it. His name's Bless, and my other one, his name's Gifted.
Gifted and the blessed.
It is funny because they both asked about y'all too.
Yeah.
Wait, those are their
Yeah, he
actual
hit me up.
names?
No,
hit
those,
me up. You
those are
gave out my
nicknames.
my what you call it?
Is
My
it-
handle, my IG handle.
Wait,
Thanks,
what?
thanks for that.
I
No,
was
I'm joking.
oh.
No,
I
we're
hope I
going
didn't
too fast.
violate.
Ease
Okay,
through the
so-
process
okay.
of the day.
All right,
That's the end point. Don't think I'm gonna forget about that.
All right, so me and Coco, we linked up. We went to the spot. We had some drinks. We were chilling. It's dumb early, but fucking, we still dancing, drinking.
The drinks were good.
Drinks were mad good.
Very
I had
strong.
a fucking Long Island iced tea. Shit was so strong, man.
Overpriced.
It was $17, but I
Was
think
it?
it was worth it.
It was
That was
worth
a little
it.
overpriced, but it was
It is
worth
overpriced,
it.
but
Yeah, it was
because
overpriced, but it was
straight
worth
liquor.
it. It was straight
It was
liquor,
straight
and it gave
liquor.
you like the big party cup. So it was
Yeah.
just
Oh,
like,
we're okay.
Mhm.
If it was like
It
this,
was like that.
17. Oh,
It was that filled up though.
It was
Oh,
full.
okay.
it
Yeah.
was
It
full
was
With
full.
like a
Yeah.
splash
And it's
of whatever
strong.
goes with
I
it.
didn't even
Yeah,
have
and
to
it was
finish
strong.
mine, but
Yeah.
then again, why would I? Because I was already on my own plane when I got there.
That's good.
But yeah, go ahead. Because I got there late. When I got there, they was at the bar a little tipsy, and I was just like, oh, look at this.
Yeah, we were eating. We had to get
Just
food.
eating
Oh,
and
yeah.
tipsy, yes.
As
I went
always.
and had a fish taco for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Fish tacos are really good. I like those.
The menu looked good. It seems like they do brunch 7 days throughout the week. So if you
think
go
so.
there, you get an entree. You can add on a $20 brunch package. Well, the $20 unlimited
Mimosas.
brunch, mimosas
saw
or whatever
that.
they said. So yeah,
I did
Woodlands,
see that. I did see
Brooklyn.
fish tacos at a brunch sounds really.
But it wasn't no
Different.
breakfast foods. Like I didn't see. Maybe
Yeah.
it was on. I don't know.
I didn't see any.
It wasn't a goddamn.
Yeah, it was
brunch.
more savory.
It was not a
Yeah.
goddamn.
Use the
brunch.
napkins. Use the napkins, brother.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead. Hit
thank
it.
you so much.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
It was a networking event because we did meet
Yes.
2 people. So I feel like it wasn't a waste of time.
Right. I made sure.
Oh, it was advertised as a networking event, or was it just that's how it turned out?
It was partly advertised as a networking event, like it was on the flyer. But brunch was the main thing, I guess, because I'm such a fat ass that I thought brunch. I'm like,
This
brunch.
nigga thought it'd be trays of bacon and
Yeah,
pancakes.
I love brunch.
Not a single thing.
I was going for the food.
No, I
shit.
really do love brunch, but it wasn't a brunch, but we still had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
But yeah, my cousin, he was mad extra. His name is Bless. That one, and like he was feeling Coco, and
he was feeling every lady in the room.
yeah, every lady in the room, and Gifted is feeling Lainey.
Aw.
But it's so funny because Lainey was talking to Gifted, and he was like, "What did he ask you?"
Are you sure you're straight lesbian? I'm just like, yeah.
Before you said
How
you
you
like
gonna-
females,
Wait,
what
straight
did
up?
he say? He said something before you to even say that.
I don't even.
I don't remember.
Me neither.
Yeah, if you don't remember, it's over.
But it was just like,
It's
he was
probably
like, you
something
sure? And I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, he was basically trying to see what's
One,
up.
he looked like he was 19.
How old is he?
Like 22, 23.
So 19. Okay.
19.
Yeah.
You don't want a boy toy or something like that? Isn't that what they call?
No.
Isn't that what they call like
But-
younger dudes?
But the funniest thing is, he was like, "Are you sure you don't like guys?" And then she was like, I'm sure. And if I did, you're not my type."
Yeah, it was just like, if I did, you're not it for me. So
You're not
I'm
it.
sorry.
Dang.
But you know what it
That
is?
was
I'd
so
rather
funny.
be honest and forward than ever give anybody
Bruh,
hope.
I love
Like,
that.
sometimes you can't be sitting here giving people hope.
I
So
respect
it's
that.
just like, no, you're not really, especially men, because, oh my G.
I feel like as men sometimes we kind of get turned on by the rejection and try to be
Y'all
like,
do.
oh,
Y'all little weirdos. Like,
Yeah.
I swear, men want you more when you don't want their ass.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
true.
you
because
don't
it's
want them,
looked
they
at as like a
want you.
trophy as if you get them. Like I don't know if you keep trying.
It's a goal.
Yeah,
Trophy
there you
these
go.
nuts. Okay? 'Cause
A
it's
for
like-
effort though, right? He tried. It sounded like he tried. He was in your ear.
No, he wasn't a man enough. Like, they're very respectable. Like,
Okay.
he was not aggressive about it. He was very respectful. Like, he was cute and charming about it. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I love everybody. I love to smile, love to laugh. I don't know if I'm really big on flirt. I don't know if I flirt right because I'm a little weird like that. Because my flirting is like banter.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like consistent? Like what do you mean by banter? Is it like
you tease?
Yeah, it's
You-
just like back and forth
Yeah.
banter.
talking
if you
shit.
keep coming
Talking
back to the
shit.
conversation, if you say one thing and then you're out. of the
I don't know.
conversation.
I'm weird. Like, it depends. Like, I can like you for all of 5 minutes and not like you the next 6 minutes.
Hmm.
It's
That's
like whatever my mood is in at the moment. Like, yeah, I'm like,
And clearly you didn't like homeboy. What was his name?
Gifted.
no, not like that. Like,
Not like that.
he's cool. He seemed nice, but it just, no, I'm good.
And what about the other one who hopped in Coco's DMs? Or
Bless.
something like that.
what
how was
what was
he?
your take on
He's
Bless?
nice. He seems nice.
He seems.
He's too young.
Is that the only thing stopping you?
He's turning like 29,
Yes.
I think.
He said he's 31.
He said that?
29, same shit.
Okay. Maybe he is 30. I don't know.
I hope when
My
they listen
cousin's
to this
old.
episode, they're going to
31.
be like, these girls, this,
31.
this trick.
Well, what is with the too young thing? Is it just the assumption that their mentality is too young, and that they may not be able to match you conversation wise, or is it just what
a
is
little
it?
bit of that. It's just I don't want anybody that's 31.
You know what you want. And it's not someone who's 31.
There's nothing wrong with the age per se. I just don't. I'm not 31. I'm not in that age range. You know, I'm a little older than that, so I want
What
somebody.
if they were like
little-
31 with the mind of a grandpa? They're out there.
I haven't
like
met
that.
one yet, but if I do, then maybe. Yeah.
I feel like I've always had like a mature mind.
I'm like,
Yeah, I
Jeff
feel
is almost
so.
like a grandpa sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you? Give me an example.
Just like, yeah, your grandpa. When you go home, you have a whole routine, right?
Not really.
No?
No. Well, it depends where I'm coming from. Like after work,
What time you go to bed?
it ranges anywhere between like 11:30 and like 1 a.m. And that's just because I can't sleep ever. Like,
You
that's like
complain about your aches. My back hurt. My legs hurt.
after the gym. Hell yeah! Like my knees was hurting the other day after my leg day. It was rough. But I need knee braces and shit. But like, wait, so
That's where the grandpa comes in. The knee
Yeah.
braces.
But so he was howling at you at the party, and then he hopped in your
No,
DMs
he was cordial at the party, nothing serious. But then he hit me up and said, "Oh yeah, I asked my cousin for your IG," and I was like, "Oh hey," and he said some other stuff, and he's cool. I mean,
Shout out to
I just
them.
told him he's too young. That's all.
I already told you what's up too.
Yeah, you told me you gave
Did I
me
not
fair
tell you
warning.
that was
You
gonna
didn't-
happen?
Yeah, that he's a flirt, and
I
you know he's probably gonna try holler, and that's how it is.
What was CR doing? What, from y'all perspective, how was he acting?
As far as what, he was chilling,
So you always
having a
chilling
good
and
time.
networking.
Yeah.
Chilling and networking, linking and
Having a good
building.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought CR would kind of be the messy one out of the group.
Messy
Yeah.
how?
Not messy in terms of like flirting with anybody, but
Mm-hmm.
just like you said you not a big drinker, you get drunk easily, so I thought you kind of be bugging.
But he
Well, yeah,
had
so
his
he-
one drink.
He was driving too, so I knew he would keep it.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
that's true. Damn.
I do get drunk easily, but I never in my life got too drunk to where I had no control.
Mm.
I've gotten drunk like throwing up, but I've never got drunk like I'm just wilding like yo, I'm taking all my clothes off right now. Like
And we were there for like
I mean,
4
you out here.
hours.
yeah.
You know,
Slipping
4
and
almost
tripping
5
right
hours.
now.
So.
That was an accident.
I don't know, Jeff. No.
What don't you know?
I don't know. I'm just saying, Jersey can't handle their liquor.
Oh, I mean, hey, I'm not even a heavy drinker. I'm not even offended.
Yeah, I don't drink like that, but
Not even offended.
that was literally just I don't know what that was. So it sounds like I didn't really. I mean, I feel like the experience of chilling with y'all again outside of the podcast would have been fun. That's like what I really
It was
missed.
fun.
But the experience, like I don't know, it doesn't sound like.
What?
Sounds like kind of like a typical day party. Like.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was anything spectacular. It wasn't. Oh
anything
my
specific.
god.
Yeah, it was just like to go and check it out and drink and listen to some
And it
music
wasn't
and-
out of the way or anything. You know what
Word.
I'm saying? It was free to get in. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it was just like, why not spend a little time, hang out?
Are y'all going to that event tomorrow in Harlem?
Are y'all going?
We're all
I'm going, yeah.
right?
Okay.
No, I'm just making
everybody's going,
sure,
then
like,
going.
I'm bringing K-Rock.
Did y'all RSVP?
And
Because
someone
that's how
else.
you get open. It's open bar too. So if you
I
RSVP, so
Wait, so is it free to get in?
yeah.
Okay, because
You
that's
know,
what
I
I'm
really
telling
don't like.
people.
I don't be traveling to Harlem and shit like that.
And then I did have a dance party in Brooklyn that I did want to go to, so I'm probably gonna do the 2.5 hour max, and then hit to Brooklyn probably.
Okay.
Okay, just making
My
sure.
boys are coming with me. You're gonna
K Rock.
yeah.
I know Grizz is going. He told me.
Oh, so perfect. We all gonna be
Miles
there.
from here is going. Homeboy, our engineer is going.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Miles, I remember. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
So we all gonna be chilling.
it's weird. Like I had like a weird weekend though. I feel like I was kind of on some like. I was on some kind of depressed shit. Honestly, I don't know. Just trapped in my head and shit. But I'm glad y'all had a good time. I was happy that y'all had fun. I was jealous that I couldn't be there a little bit. But
It was a little too
Well,
far
wait.
for you to travel.
no, I had work the next day like 5 a.m. So it wouldn't have made sense. Yeah.
What did you, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do during the weekend? Like, what did you do?
Besides just chilling with my girl and just seeing the movie and just hanging out, nothing really special, nothing major. Teaching myself randomly how to play the piano. I've been reading a new book. This book right here, From Niggas to Gods. It's really weird. I don't really like it so far.
Really?
It's kind of the type of style of writing that I do is like it's like you could feel the personalization in it. So like it's coming off really too aggressive with how they're wording certain things. But the message is kind of cool. They're just basically trying to incite a different type of thinking in the black mind.
I get exactly what you're saying.
It's a little problematic. I feel it's a little weird, but it's cool so far.
So
But-
you wouldn't recommend it just yet then?
Not yet. I literally like just started it, so I got to get a better feel for it. But reading that book and actually on the train ride to the Bronx after the last podcast we did, there was these two black crackheads on the train, and they were just kicking mad knowledge. They were just speaking like some real shit, just about in terms of like the power of the black skin and the black people.
Crackheads
and-
can be smart.
yeah, and these white people on the train looking at them like they're crazy. Everyone's looking at them like I was looking like they're crazy, but like I don't know. Like he just found himself staring at me dead in my eyes, just saying some really crazy shit. One of the main quotes that I heard him say as I was getting off the train, he says, "If you don't like black people, kill yourself." And that incited like a different level of thinking. It's just like, why don't people like us? Like why do they look down on us? Why? You know what I mean? I was curious what y'all thoughts on that. Like just on racism and just hate for black people, people of color in general.
In my opinion, I think it started with the fact that our genes are dominant, and that on a global scale, like the traditional Anglo-Saxon is becoming the minority. So when we breed with like somebody who's like a pure, Irish or whatever, our genes will show up in that child. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in the aspect of preserving their kind and preserving people who look just like them, they look at it as like almost like infectious. I think that's where it originated from.
That's cute. That sounds nice. I mean, I can get with that.
I think like the very bare like beginning of it. I mean, obviously there's more that comes into it, but
It's definitely deeper.
just the pure subconscious. Why do I hate somebody who's darker than me?
That's one aspect.
I feel like that's
But see, I think that's something that happened. Your theory, I feel like that's something that happened over time. I don't
Microphone,
feel like that's the.
mic check.
Oh, sorry. That what you just said. I feel like that's something that happened over time. I don't think that's the beginning of the dislike or the discord between everybody.
It's just kind of confusing to me. I don't know. It's like I feel like it's lack of understanding, lack of acceptance, fear, jealousy, maybe. Because I feel like we are like culture. Like our culture is poured into the world at this point. Hip hop, fashion. Like we are the innovators. We are the creators of these things, and I feel that's kind
I
of.
feel like it's always kind of been the case, though. It's not just now.
I think now is more on the front lines than it's ever been, in my
But
opinion.
yeah, I agree with
Well,
that.
yeah. Now, like I said, what we saying, like what y'all saying right now, like yeah, that makes sense for now, for everything that's happening now, and like maybe 200 years ago, 300 years ago. But the bare minimum of the beginning of it, I don't think anybody's really gonna grasp of why they just don't.
Is that one of those things we just don't want to know, or like we'll never know?
I feel like there's, I don't know, I've read so many stories. Like, I've read one thing of stories. Well, I read, it's one thing, like, we was gods at one point, and we treated people who didn't look like us the way they treated us now.
I heard that too.
So if you want to go back to that, everything in life is a cycle. What goes up must come down. What goes down must go up again. So it's only a matter of time before we back to our claim, but maybe we do have to suffer. Then there was something I was reading before, for all my people, my Bible thumpers. There was this guy, he wrote this thesis about how Africa was a part of, it's Africa and another continent, like the way it's shaped on the map, it was a part of like this triangle, and because we practice the way we practice religion, the white man had to come and save us and bring us from our land to their land, so that way we can be Christians and God, like whatever the case is. And then let's go back to the theory that maybe some of us are not even from Africa. Some of us are just from America. We was part of the whole indigenous Native American clan. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot when it comes to this whole, as we as a people, who we are, what we are, why they hate us, why they don't hate us, why they like us, why they use us. It's just a lot. And I don't think we're never going to grasp all of it. But if we want to go back, like, people, like, they did take that. Who was the lady's uterus they took? They used her.
Oh, I don't recall her name.
They took someone's uterus?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to say Fannie Lou, but I don't want to be fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't.
Yeah, it's
recall
like,
her
I
name.
don't want to say a
looking
name
it
and
up.
it don't be right. Anybody got Wi-Fi? Feel free to look that up right now. But, they've been using us for science experiments for this, that, and the third. So it's just like, until we really know the origins of the world and the earth as a general, I don't think we're really going to know why they hate us, because who are we really?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Just like myself as a person, like who we are all as individuals. Like why I am the way I am today? Is that like a testament to how I was raised, or is it something further back than that? Like my ancestry, and my interests a reflection of what my ancestors' interests were in a way, or what? So Maybe I don't want the answers to these questions, but I was just curious. Like these two black guys and crackers on train just really incited this different level of thinking into me, just because they were saying some really impactful stuff, and I was listening to them, but I was looking at everyone's reactions to what they were saying, and most of the people who weren't of our skin tone, and even other people who were, they were just looking at them in a real judgmental way, and it was just like.
Was it the delivery was harsh? That's why.
Well, he was very loud. You know how they get really loud on the trains and they get really like kind of excited and hyped up.
Sometimes people get blinded by the delivery, so they can't see the message.
But yeah, man, I feel like you got to be as loud as you can to get it through someone's head.
No, I
And
agree.
then you keep saying it was two crackheads, so it's like people was already gonna be dismissive of them anyway, regardless of what they said.
And that's wrong. Maybe I'm like putting it out there because they seem like they kind of were on something. Maybe not crack, but they seem like they were on something. So maybe even just how they appear. They weren't even dressed like, they didn't have rips on the clothes. They didn't stink. They didn't smell like drugs. They look crazy, but
So what?
they were just loud black people, I guess. Like,
Oh my
you call
God! Please tell me what classified them as crackheads. I just want to know. Like to you, like
No.
What did you see that made you say, maybe he smokes crack?
no, I just doubled back and said maybe you weren't on crack, but I did feel like they were on something.
Okay. Maybe they were drunk. They might have been alcoholics.
Some type of drug, right?
Maybe they wasn't on any drug. Maybe that was a problem. Maybe they coming down from whatever they was fucking on years ago, and now
Maybe.
they see shit differently.
Maybe that was just a pure assumption off me, but I don't know. I just don't see too many sober people, from my knowledge, doing that, stuff like that in public.
I understand. You can tell.
They
the
could have
difference
just
from
had
a
mental
sober
health
person.
issues. Yeah.
That's true too.
Right. So,
That's very true.
I guess the point of my really trying to bring that up is just like, I don't know, just listen to people more, because there really some people who do have these deliveries and these messages out there are saying some real impactful stuff that can definitely incite a different way of thinking into you.
I always listen to the people who be talking to themselves in the street. I be glued in, like, what you said, bitch?
Right.
Because sometimes they be like walking past you. I feel like they be giving me a special message. Like, huh, girl, say it again.
Yeah.
Come back.
Right.
Like, I had people say some crazy stuff walking past me in my end. I'm just like, oh, shit, let me watch myself today. Like,
You ever had somebody say something random, but it perfectly applied to what you were going through that day? That shit has.
Oh, someone in
happened to me.
public say it?
Just
yeah,
random-
just randomly.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like
They
a
just say
stranger.
something to you, and you just like it almost gives you goosebumps because it's like, damn, like that was definitely a message for me today.
Right. Or even just someone like you talking to someone and they just mention something that you've been through and you think that someone else didn't go through it or that you didn't go through it, like someone else beside you.
Yep.
So
The signs are everywhere.
going back to Avengers right quick, I'm not gonna spoil nothing. I was just thinking about this too. How familiar are y'all with Robert Downey Jr. like Iron Man, like as a character, like do y'all as a
as
person?
Iron Man?
You
I've
know,
watched
as a
him.
person, and I guess in a
Yeah.
I've
Well,
watched
as a
him since the
person-
beginning.
yeah, like his career, like
Yeah.
Oh, like he used to be a crackhead. Well, not a crackhead, but he used to be a drug addict. And all
he
that
was like an
shit.
alcoholic
Yeah,
and
yeah.
homeless,
He
and
was
just
Robert Downey Jr.
he was in jail,
He
like
almost destroyed his career completely.
Yeah.
and just like the flip side to being in like back-to-back billion-dollar films, like what is that? Like, is that?
It's called second chances when you really want it.
Do you believe in second chances like that?
Everybody gets a second chance. You can get as many chances as you want if you really want it. There's no such thing as you can't come back up off the ground. A baby gonna fall 5,000 times. What's the baby gonna do? Get up.
Is that a testament to belief or just work ethic, or is it a
Both.
mixture of both? Do you-
Belief and work ethic. Belief and work ethic. Because without your work ethic, the universe can't work with you.
Facts.
It's just really crazy to me. Like I just did all these research on him because, well, I kind of like a spoiler, but I just didn't know about these characters that have been in these movies for so long, like the people who play them.
Like Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
What's she do?
She
She's
was
been
like, she was on
She's been into drugs since she was like 10.
10?
Yeah.
Baby,
you,
baby,
You like you
okay?
think that's an interesting story. Look up Drew Barrymore.
for
It's a
real.
very interesting story. And she has a more famous family.
Yes.
Her family is old Hollywood.
Wow.
What's that?
Old Hollywood, like
Old
from
money,
the
old
30s.
Hollywood.
Her
okay.
grandfather was a big director, the Barrymore Theater in Times Square.
Right.
That was her grandpa's theater. Like I think he was a playwright too, I believe.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people who are famous. They have legacies with somebody else or connections somewhere else. Like Hollywood really, I don't want to call it a cult, but it's a coven. Yeah, I like coven. It's a coven.
Yeah, it sounds nicer.
Yeah,
It's less aggressive than cold.
Yeah, it's a coven. Like Hollywood is a coven. It's this practices put in every place.
Do you think what's phase of life for you on? Do you think is this like your second wind?
Who, me?
Yeah, I guess everyone. I mean, I feel like this is kind of my second
I
wind.
don't feel like it's my second one. I feel like I'm in my sixth, maybe.
Sixth? Is that like you feel that way after like you felt like you've taken many losses up to this point, and then now you feel like you're in a phase where you can finally claim your victories
If I want to claim it.
if you want to. So you don't want to?
I'm just saying, if I want to claim it. Sometimes it's not about if you want to, if you do want to. Sometimes you're just fucking lazy. Like, it's a lot of things that go into, but everybody's journey is different. So it's not about if I want to claim my victory, is it if I'm going to.
I feel like with you, CR, like, you're kind of like on a second lap, I guess, with your career in terms of your dreams, right? Like, I mean, you've done shows and stuff throughout your years, but with this most recent album, it kind of feels like now you're kind of like heading up way faster, I think, maybe than you expected.
I'm sorry, you talking about second shift. I thought you meant lifetimes. I felt like I was in my
I thought you
sixth
meant
lifetime.
lifetimes. I thought you
Yeah.
meant lifetimes
well,
too, like reincarnation. That's what I thought you
Yeah,
meant
I'm
for
like,
a
I'm in my
second.
Deeper, but like,
six.
it's like brought up Robbie Down Jr. because like he was taking many elsewhere life, and now he's kind of
yeah,
like on
I
his
get what
second
you're
lap
saying. I get
around
That's not
life.
his second lap. I feel like that's
Yeah,
like his
it's-
105th
yeah,
lap.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of laps.
To my perception. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen too many films of him outside of the Marvel shit, but like, I don't know.
But yeah, for me, like, I mean, I guess you can put it that way. The thing about for everybody's journey is when you're in that journey, you'll never get to see it how other people see it. When you're walking in the footsteps, you don't really pay attention to the tracks. So it's like, you know what I mean? I guess you can put it that way. You know what I'm saying? But I just try to keep doing better than I was last year. But, you know what I mean? I don't know if I could say, I mean... Because I don't know, like, I have in my mind a certain threshold where I can finally look back and be, all right, yeah, I fucking made it. But, you know, I guess that's not always the healthiest because, like, sometimes I don't give myself enough credit for the
To what you have done already.
to what I've done already, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I guess that's one of my internal battles.
I think I'm like on my second lap of life, just mostly because like for the majority of my life I just been mad depressed. But now I'm like, I have a sense of focus now. Like I know what I actually want and want to do, and I'm kind of doing it. So
I get
like,
what you mean now by
I don't know,
second
just finding
lap.
just a different sense of purpose in
Okay.
life. Like I don't know.
Then I'm on my third lap, if that's the case.
Yeah,
Like you were born again. Like you.
I think I was born for the first time on my second lap. I feel like I finally know who I am.
In that case, then yeah, I am on my second lap. Like I have no doubts about what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, and I love Yes So Cute, because you're going to be reborn another time after this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a journey. It's not a destination.
I'm not saying this is over, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in that second phase of my existence.
I get
like,
you. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely know I'm gonna go through more phases. Even music, like that's not gonna be forever. It's gonna be a different phase. Like, as you know, what I'm saying the same passion will be applied to something different.
Right. This is mad deep. I kind of really wanted to come in here and just talk shit about everybody, other podcasts, and just have fun.
But you know,
Nothing
it
wrong with that.
happens. It happens. It happens.
It always happens. with
What about
us.
you, Coco? What path?
Yes. Are you
As
on
far
your
as what?
second lap?
Are you in your second lap?
I don't feel like I am though. I feel like I'm still on my first lap.
Okay.
Do you like? What are some of your goals? Like, what do you want like for yourself in your life? Like, is there anything major that you want to accomplish?
I definitely want to travel more. I want to, at some point, hopefully soon, start a business. Yeah, just chilling.
I respect it.
A lot of goals that I had for myself, I accomplished. So, and there's things that I still want to do. Like, I definitely want to go back to school and things like that. But I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I have a tendency when I set things up as far as, I want to accomplish this, that, and the third, I tend to dive right in and do it all at once, and then I overwhelm myself. And then after I did that, I realized I'm the only person that I really have to respond to or be responsible for would be myself. So I'm putting way too much pressure on myself.
Yes.
So even when people ask me, what do you want to accomplish, this and that, not to say I don't have an answer, but I'm not putting pressure on myself. Whatever comes my way that I want to do, I'm going to tackle it, but I'm not going to overwhelm myself. I'm not going to carry on with 2 or 3 different things at once. One, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I don't, not to say I don't have the energy to do it, but it always for me always goes back to me overloading myself. I have high expectations, and then I deep dive, and then I get frustrated because I'm not completing everything as in a certain period of time or, to the level that I would expect. So I'm just taking it easy. I'm not going to, whatever comes my way and I want to get into it, then I will.
I feel like that's a trait that older people, like, you just kind of gain as you get older. Like, you just don't really care. You just go
No,
with
it's
the flow.
not that. It's not that.
caring, but,
It's more
you
like,
just go with the flow.
I don't feel like I
You don't allow
have
yourself
to
to
prove anything.
Right. Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I
whatever
get
I want to
that.
prove, it's to myself. I'm not worried about what other, like what my parents think or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a factor.
That's something I still struggle with. I feel like I'm not trying to like. I don't want to say prove my. Yeah, I guess so. Cause like I feel like, in a way, I put pressure on myself to be successful because it's expected. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be successful. I mean, I want to make things happen, but I
So
feel.
are you not successful right now?
No, I do feel successful right now, but that's the thing. That's the unhealthy aspect of this journey that I was talking about, where in my mind there's this threshold that I think I'm gonna reach, where I can finally be like, oh, I finally made it, and it's just like, no, it's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah,
And that's what I have to keep reminding myself.
Someone pointed out to me like how consistent that we've been with the show. Like we never really missed a week, like ever. Like at least I've never missed a week in terms of like when I started till now. And one reason kind of always wanted to be consistent, especially after like the whole co-host switch up with like the guy was my friend or whatever. It's like I'm not even trying to prove it to myself that I'm good at this. I know that I am, but I want to prove it to the people who didn't believe because I want to get to the highest point of success.
That's how I feel.
To show them like this is what you missed out on, this is what you didn't believe on, and that's like super like I don't know what you call that, but it's not a right feeling to have because you can't live to
prove people wrong.
Yeah,
you shouldn't. For me, it's,
I mean, you should use it as motivation to get to where
It's
you
definitely
need to,
motivation.
but you shouldn't use it as like the only
center
thing.
part of
Yeah,
it,
the
yeah.
beginning to the end of everything that makes you want to be the person you admire, like you strive to be. So yes, it's great to use that as motivation, but it should never be about proving anybody wrong, but proving yourself right. Maybe.
yeah.
That's
it.
That's it right there. I want to prove myself. Right? I want to prove I made the right decisions. I made the right sacrifices. I made the choice to live my life unorthodox, and it worked. That's just what I
Right.
want.
And there's just no reason why we're constantly getting the same compliments. It's like, oh, we're giving them their best interview. Oh, that was my first interview. We really loved it. Oh, we love this episode.
Can't
like,
be a coincidence.
There's no reason why we're getting certain guests. Like, it just doesn't make sense if I know I'm not right, you know?
Right.
So it's just like, now it's time for the world to see it.
Like if it wasn't meant to be, it wouldn't work. No,
Yeah.
That's true.
that's how I feel about life. Like I just feel like if it wasn't meant to be, it wouldn't work. That's just how I feel.
Someone also asked me over the weekend, I just remembered, like, what's a good starting point for the show? Because there's so many episodes at this point, like almost going on 100 soon. And I would say the 50th episode, ironically, is the episode, that was the first episode that you guys were on when I first met you guys.
Oh, for real?
That was like my first, like, wasn't my first interview alone, but that was
I'm
like,
gonna go back and listen to that.
that was the
That's
first,
vintage.
that was the first interview here that I did by myself. That was the first episode afterwards where I felt like, okay, I could really do this.
I'm
keep
gonna
doing
totally
this.
listen.
Yeah,
to
because
that
you
So-
was a little discouraged that day. That was the thing with the interview. Because you was like, oh, I never did it by myself before.
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of left me by myself, left me hanging. But I really wanted to do the interview. So we was just like, so let's go. Let's do it.
There's so many moments I remember from that day too. When I first walked in and I said, I guess, hi to you guys, Coco was like, oh, that's like, you didn't say it to me, but I think you said it to either Laney or Shake. You were like, oh, that's like the same voice. Like you were surprised that my voice sounded the same as it does behind the mic as it does in person.
Yeah.
I just remember that little comment you made, and yeah,
Because people don't usually sound the same
At
when
least
you
we
meet them in
don't
person.
think we
Yeah.
do.
yeah. I know I definitely didn't. I still don't really think so, but
Nobody likes to
You
sound their
do.
own voice.
You sound just the same.
that's cool. Someone can't get me confused with like CR or something.
No.
But yeah, that episode, chapter 50, with the first time Coco and Laney were on this show with their old podcast. That was,
Start there.
yeah,
I gotta listen to that.
yeah.
Wow.
What else is going on with y'all?
Um,
Didn't you have a segment you wanted to present to the show?
I
Can you
did.
refresh my memory?
I did. But you know what? I feel like. So I thought that's been on my mind for a whole, like, this past 2 weeks. Once I said it, nobody responded to it. Like how you just said, nobody responds to your texts. And
I did respond to it.
could've-
I
I
said I
didn't-
was
I
with
Respond
it.
to it, yeah.
I didn't say anything. I could have said.
I said I was
don't
like, yeah,
think-
let's do it. I could probably
I don't think
find
nobody
that.
did
shit.
it anyway.
She might not have gotten it. You know, technology.
That's true too.
That's
But,
a good cop out, but yeah, you got, I know you got it.
I don't think I did, but I hear
you
you.
got
Boo.
it.
I hear you. So, but you know, it was just like one of those things. Okay, I'm like, should we draw attention to that subject, or should we let that die and let things just lie in the rocks? Because I feel like that's something that hasn't been talked about before, the way I want to talk about it. But I kind of don't want to start up the whole spark of the light skin versus dark skin thing again, when it has been so quiet.
I mean, now that we're here, I think we might as well just get into it.
So what I wanted to do is have a segment because, you know, I grew up in my family as the only light-skinned person. I grew up with everybody darker than me. And I have a younger sister. She always felt like she was second to me for just because of my skin color. Even to this day, like, we'd be on the phone joking. She'd be like, you know, you acting so light-skinned. I'm just like, well, what the fuck does that mean? And then I have I had a light skinned friend before, and she would be like, "Oh, stop acting like you dark skinned." Like she would always tell me, "Oh, you just want to be dark skinned so bad." So my thing I was trying to bring is to parents and to families who are different from their children, and that's because I saw Jazzy 2 times. Casanova's wife, girlfriend, they have a child together. Jazzy is of fair complexion, and their daughter took over. She took Casanova complexion. So I was just thinking, like in a household like that, how would that child feel growing up with her mom looking the way she does, and she looking a little different? And you know the way kids are so cruel, and people are just so cruel in general. They always have something to say. Because, you know, me growing up, people will always say, "Oh, you don't look like your mom." I'd be like, "I look just like my mom." Just because she's darker than me don't mean I look just like her. I have the same features and everything. But you wouldn't pay that attention if you're only looking at the color. So I was trying to introduce a segment where we introduce people, you know, mothers and daughters who have 2 different complexions, you know, and how they talk about, you know, just loving on their daughters a little more, a little harder, or something just like that, just so that their kids don't feel different growing up or feel like their beauty is one way because they don't look like a counterpart in their family.
It's funny. I've always heard that debate like in joking format, never as like a serious like topic of discussion.
It has been I feel like there has been platforms. I think TV1 or somebody did a whole documentary on light skin versus
I
dark
did
skin.
see something like that.
And
yeah.
I felt like even that was just too much because it's just like hearing what both parties had to say. It was just like,
You felt like, is it really that deep?
yeah, is it really
Yeah.
that deep? Like, and if it's that deep, why is it that deep?
deep.
How did we get that deep, and how can we just get rid of it?
I think I feel the same way. Like,
Because it'd be certain, like, and I told my sister this when she was like, "Oh, you acting like light skin Keisha." I'm just like, yo, one, she's beautiful, but don't call me light skin Keisha because I'm not light skin Keisha, and stop thinking everything I do something is because I'm light skinned.
yeah,
Isn't
that's gotta be annoying.
Isn't that term like classified as like isn't it called
Call me
colorism?
Whitney, yeah.
Like, so like
Mhm.
So it was that's what I was trying.
It's
But
amongst
I
cultures.
also
it's
feel
amongst all
like
cultures.
yeah.
because
So.
the topic has been such quiet for so long, like why light the fire again in a sense?
Right. I mean, it's awareness. So I got to bring awareness to this
Yeah,
because it
it
is
still
happening.
exists,
And these
yeah.
people out here probably have to deal with this either internally with their family or externally
Yeah.
that don't speak about it because they feel like it's one of those situations that's not going to change. Maybe.
But I
Yeah.
do feel like, in comparison to like retrospectively speaking, I feel like dark skin is more in than it was before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're more in a place now where we're praising dark skin, we're praising black queens, and
It's like
dark,
you know, black
what I'm
girls
saying?
matter, brown girls rock, and it's just like, how come we just can't get to the point where it's just like women of color are just a bomb diggity? You know what I'm trying to say?
Right,
Like, why do we have to put a particular
differentiate,
shade on
yeah.
it?
I think
And
we're
I'm
on
not
the,
trying
on
to
the way
say
there.
because I'm light skinned I feel, you know, excluded, and I just feel like it was all about me for all these years, and it's not about that.
Right.
Because I never felt like it was about me. Because I used to get teased like nobody's. I was bullied all my life, so it's just like I understand both sides, but I just don't understand why it has to be a side.
Yeah.
My sister, my older sister, my best friend, she's darker than me. People who come up to me, "Oh, how your sisters?" Bitch, that's my fucking sister.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I can imagine how that's frustrating. I can imagine because it's the same thing with my girl. Like, she's your complexion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But her mom and her sister are both like my complexion.
And it, you know, growing up, that used to always bother me. People like, "Oh, you know," even my aunt, she used to tease me like, "We found you in the garbage can behind the hospital. Like, you really adopted." But you know, that's black families for you. They're your first bullies,
They
okay?
said the same joke in her family.
You know, so if you can't handle your family, then you ain't gonna be able to handle nobody.
Right.
But it's just one of those things. I just feel like, do we bring awareness to it? Do we not bring awareness to it? But you know what? Maybe we should, because I feel like there are people out there who suffer from that, and that is a part of their mental health crisis too.
They feel like some people may feel like they're less than because they
feel
are.
Yeah,
they
because
see
they
themselves
grew
as
up in
less than.
certain families, and they always felt like they was the outcast, or if somebody paid more attention. It's why I just like, it must be, you know, horrible to grow up in a household where there's like 6 siblings, and everybody's a different shade of something, because somebody's gonna feel left out. Somebody's gonna feel like the worst child, the bad child, the bad seed, not the favorite, and that is just something. But I can relate. 'cause
Maybe an
I-
example of that, like, is, I mean, I've never been through this or know anyone who's been through this besides, I guess, you, but maybe the features that that child may possess is, like, representation of, like, maybe someone from their past, like, or someone else in their life connected to. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how this starts, like.
Yeah,
the
I
hate
do feel
for-
like it happens that way with some people. Depends on the dynamic. I feel like there are some parental and child dynamics where
Like some parents have hate for the kid who have like features like that are taken from like the father. Like if they have bad,
especially if the father, especially if the father's not in their life.
Yeah, so I'm not. Maybe that's one example of how it may start, but I've never had that.
I will say because I probably looked like my mother, my grandmother was like always on my ass so that I wouldn't become my mother.
Isn't this kind of like what you said earlier? Like it's just how the world is. Like there's just the cycle. This is part of the cycle.
It is a part of the cycle. Everybody has cycles, and within your family and outside your family. You have your own personal cycles.
When did you realize that was a problem?
What?
Like the conversation with your skin color and like your family member's skin color and like you noticing.
When I was like 6.
How did that make you feel?
I always felt like I was different, and not because I'm light skinned. I felt like I was different because I remember being like 5 and feeling like the world kept watching me.
And how are you dealing with it currently? Does it
I
still
still
bother?
feel like the world still's watching me. Like, and I don't mean like people like watching me. I feel like, how do I say this without sounding like a complete fucking narcissist, egotistical person? But I feel like everybody's come some level when you got to a certain point, you started questioning certain things, and you were just like, why is every day about me? Like, I get up, it's about this. It's only, I don't know if I'm making sense. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that awareness that.
Everything going on in your perspective is about you.
Yeah, it's an awareness. It's not even that. It's an awareness of. It's a self-awareness that you're a being in a vessel, but you don't belong. I don't know how I'm saying. I'm not explaining it right. I can't.
I'm trying to hold on.
But it's just always this thing where I just always felt like I'm different. I'm not supposed to be here, on some level.
Because you're so different.
I don't know. I just feel like if I die,
Like a black sheep, like.
It's not even about. It's deeper than a black sheep.
So you felt like.
We all have our own purpose in life. So, maybe I'll ask this question. Maybe it will just get you to understand how I feel. If you had to die for the sake of the universe, can you die no questions asked? Just willingly walk into the fire, the way Thanos just gave up baby girl in the other movie, just bitch bye, because he so believed in the sake of the world. Can you do that?
I'm not that selfless, no.
So, and that's what I feel like.
Because you feel like you would do it.
You
no
could do it.
questions
Yes,
asked.
no questions asked.
Does take a special person to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's like genuine love for everyone.
Existence.
For everyone, yeah.
And I've always felt like that since I was.
But that's nothing to be ashamed of, or like not ashamed, but like nothing to feel.
That's not something I talk about neither. I think this is the first time I've ever really admitted that outside of my head.
The fact that you care
Not the fact that I care
about like the other people but yourself, that you would do
I don't give a
that.
fuck about nobody. Like, let's just change the subject. Anyway, you're about to make me seem like I'm soft.
You're
Never
not.
mind.
You just said you would die.
That
You
New
walk
York
into a
just
fire for the
came
planet.
out. I don't give a fuck about nobody.
You would jump off the cliff and create the soul stone for the
This
planet.
is why you don't tell this nigga nothing. You see how he just
Damn, this is what you just said.
He goes deep.
I just expanded on it.
Anyway. But what was the next thing? What was you talking about again?
You're this.
No. But yes, growing up in the family, sometimes you do feel like the outcast. You do feel a little different, and I've always just felt different. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think I've said that too. Like I call it terminal uniqueness, where I felt like I'm so different than everybody else. No one else can relate to my struggle or my problems.
No, nigga, you crazy.
And that's not true.
No, I'm only kidding.
Maybe someone would say that.
I like how you said terminal uniqueness. That's cute. Terminal uniqueness.
It's terminal. It's not good.
But why is it not good? You should always want to be unique.
Every
So,
single person
okay,
in
can
this
I
world
say-
is
but like-
terminally
wait,
unique.
No, but like I wouldn't even interact with certain people. I wouldn't share with like past relationships or just people in general because I feel like you just wouldn't understand. So I would take that suffering upon myself and hold it. I wouldn't even tell it to my own mom. Like,
Can I say something?
sure.
You sound like a quiet Kanye West.
What do you mean by that?
You sound like everything that he thinks about that he actually says because he has no fear. It's like he says it. You think about the same things, but you scared to say it. Like terminal uniqueness. That's some Kanye shit.
And it's funny. I want to talk about Kanye too.
But I feel like you need to start giving him a little. You need to start being a little more sympathetic to Kanye, because on some levels you demonstrate Kanyeism.
But I just do it in a quieter way. I do it in a
Yeah.
quieter way. I don't know. I mean, I'm not self-centered like he is.
Why is he self-centered?
We don't know that he's.
I am a
self-centered.
god, Jesus.
He is
We
a
are all
god. We are all
gods.
gods. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm a god. Like, I'm a part of. I was made of God. I am a god.
We're all gods and goddesses. For
That's
the
what's fucked up
record.
about religion. The
So,
fact that
Yeah,
it's
and
did
it's
done
like
y'all-
teaching
religion
that
fucked your people up.
we're not gods.
Yeah.
We
No, no, no.
all are.
That's like the first
That's-
thing they try to place into
It's
your
a
mind.
way to take away your own
So
power.
you're telling me
Take away
Kanye
your
West isn't
power.
self-centered? There's nothing about Kanye that he puts his ego on the front line. Everything that he does and puts himself before everything else. Did y'all see Coachella? Like the merch he was selling, the whole church Sunday service shit and all that? Y'all didn't see any of that? The Sunday services he's been doing?
I mean, I saw
All
Like
right.
Kirk
So
Franklin?
this is when
on
you
YouTube.
just. This is when you just you say.
I mean, I wasn't done, but
Oh no. Sorry. Go ahead. Because you
Nah,
about
go
the,
ahead, 'cause you
about the
about to-
merchandise. The merchandise he was
it was
selling.
deeper than that, though. I feel like
Because everybody
I
wants
feel like
to say
he
that's a
panders.
cult.
I feel like he panders to certain groups for ratings and popularity and music sales. So with the MAGA hat, he pandered to the crazy white people and pandered to the fucking people who support Trump. Now the Sunday service thing, he panders to people who are religious, and he's feeding back into that Jesus ego and doing the Sunday service and fucking flipping all these fucking
Y'all
church
loved
songs.
Kanye when he told y'all that Jesus walks. What's the difference?
He's been doing it.
He's
But
been.
people
he's
who loved him
been
because he was a
relating
better
to
rapper
church.
around that time.
But I'm just saying, you can't
That's
say he's
debatable.
pandering to different groups when he's been giving you the Jesus talk. He's been taking you to church. He's been making you
Right.
think. He's been trying to elevate your mind. Why now? Because he puts on a red hat that says "Make America Great Again." Every black person is just like he has to be canceled. How come we couldn't take his interaction with the White House as a positive thing and him making changes? His
Bridging
little
gaps.
fucking slut ass wife out here trying to free the black man, but we're still
Literally.
upset.
I think Kim has done more for the people than
But
Kanye
who's
has.
to
Ay,
say
Dios mío, qué
he's
jodienda
not?
esa.
He's not
In
behind.
terms of direct
But
action,
who's to
you
say
think
he's
Kanye
not
West
behind? Who's to
can't
say
make-
he's not behind that? Who's to say he wasn't the one who pushed that shit forward?
I don't think he
We
was.
don't know the details.
We
though.
don't know the details, but from my perception, I don't think he was.
I just don't like the fact that people come at Kanye because he's different.
That's not why I come at him. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I just don't
And it's
understand
not
what
for-
side.
different.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to
and
pick a
that's why
side.
the white men don't like you
Why
because
you
they
have to
don't
pick a
understand you. They don't understand.
Why do you have
they
to
don't
pick a side?
You don't. Yeah. Why do you have to pick a side?
So you would
Maybe-
respect someone who plays all sides of every party, even if they
But
hateful
how
groups.
does he play all sides? Because he told you slavery is a choice because we are still in fucking slavery. He's playing both sides. I
It's
feel
not.
like we took that comment and it was just like, oh,
Nobody wants to think past it.
nobody wants to think past
That's
it.
I'm not saying as a
On
black
the top
person
of
you have to
nobody
rival
wants to
all
think
black people
past-
through all problems, but I want to know exactly where his desires and what his real intention is when he does these certain things. He's so vocal and candid about everything else, but why have we not got an explanation into that meeting with Trump? Why can't we know the specifics? He's so honest about everything else.
He gave the-
he said George Washington's like black people. Why can't we know what this conversation with Trump was about? Why is he doing this Sunday service thing? I just don't understand. Like,
Because maybe he needs healing and maybe that's his way of trying to get it for himself and it just happens. Like, do we question why DMX is a fucking crackhead after all the millions he made and all the platinums and
Nobody's
he's one
really
of the,
questioning that.
He's one of the greatest rappers out there. Do we question that? Do we question his downfall? Because people got fucking demons. People go through shit that we don't even have no idea.
I do believe Kanye is definitely still recovering from the death of his mother. I do think, in his own way, he's trying to
Some
recover
facts, okay.
from that. But I just need to know.
And it's not that I'm against black people when I'm so for Kanye. It's just I love everybody. I just want us to just be a little different.
I don't
Understand. I want us to be more understanding towards our people instead of just being like the
Dismissive.
white man. Yeah, the white man does so much to our black man. Why do we have to be?
I feel like my opinion is coming off as hate for Kanye.
Yeah,
I just
more
have a
just-
strong opinion on it because I don't understand. I want to understand what he's trying to accomplish, what side he is on.
Well,
And
the only way
that's
you can
what
do
the
that is
white
by
man
sitting
says-
down and talking to him.
That's what
We
the white
can't,
man
you know?
says when he be like, I want to understand what the black person's gonna accomplish when they try to get together and make their dollar count. Like I don't want it to happen. I don't understand it. Like, what's the difference?
Why
Playing
can't I
devil's
know
advocate, people
what?
playing devil advocate? But go ahead.
Why can't I understand where someone's position lies and what they're trying to accomplish? Like, why can't I know that in terms of like, it's like plain and simple, like Democrat, Republican. I know which side these people fall on what their beliefs are, and
But
vice
you're
versa.
talking in terms of black and white. Things are not always black and white.
That's like, us trying to understand why God made the universe, and he probably just took a shit one day and popped.
And that
Okay.
shit
And that's
ain't
what I was
black
about
and
to say. Like,
You know?
I think sometimes too, when we're analyzing the decisions and actions of celebrities, we kind of give
Put our
them this
personal,
credit.
yeah.
Give them credit that they're more calculated than they might have really been. Like, sometimes we gotta realize, like, not to make any excuses or justify anything about the Kanye situation, speaking generally, but people just do shit sometimes.
Yeah.
And us as humans always have to find a way to add explanation,
yeah.
a why, and especially when it comes to celebrities and people who are held at a higher statute, we always come up with this super complicated, intricate plan that this person had behind this, and
It
it's
might
just,
not be that complicated.
it might not even have been that. Like what I've heard and what I've collected from Kanye West, he doesn't even understand for real, like, all the reasons why people don't like Trump politically.
Yeah.
He met Trump on a personal level, where he had a conversation. They talked about business. He likes Trump for who he is. Like, we don't know Trump. We know him for his political stances and what he's done.
That's like when people find out Nikki voted for Trump because of tax reasons. Like, you think these people,
This,
like,
this is
Yeah.
my problem though.
Like,
Like this is
come
also my
on.
problem. Kanye even admitted he said he doesn't read, so he clearly didn't read any of
I
these
think
articles.
Kanye also just talks a lot of shit to make himself feel like
So he
he's
didn't read. He didn't read
Like,
any of these
mad
articles of all the shit that Trump has done, and it's just like
He probably
now
didn't.
you're just completely detached from what's going on in the world.
But
Like you don't know what Trump has done
Jim
and what he's
Carrey
continuing to
is
do.
completely detached sometimes too,
Jim Carrey is definitely.
and he's one of the
Will
most
Smith?
woke people
And
out
if you're
there.
meeting
Jada,
with and if you're meeting
detached.
with Trump, you think Jada is detached from
Yes.
what's going on
Not
politically and socially?
Well, all right, not politically and socially. Like, they might know what's going on, but I'm saying in general, like, when it comes to like pop culture, like just regular things, I'm just like saying, like, they are also
I
detached.
think
Like,
the Smiths has real shit to worry about. Like, they're not really
Anyways,
worried about.
so like,
yeah.
if Kanye did go, say Kanye went to speak with Trump to like possibly change something, Trump is already who he is. He's damn near 80 years old. You can't. I just feel like certain people just can't change.
He's not that old.
He-
He's
he-
almost. He's like in his late 60s.
But
early
my thing is,
70s.
every
Whatever,
time we
he's-
have this Trump conversation, I just really want to know, why are y'all so surprised? And when I say y'all, I mean the whole general, like whoever listens to our show. Why are you so surprised about the way Trump is?
We're not. surprised.
It's just like, it amazes me how people are just so upset because of, and I'm just like, one, y'all said for years, oh, the president really don't run the world. He's just the puppet. Yada, 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 yada. So why when Trump get in office, that no longer applies? When Obama was in office, he don't really run it. He just a puppet.
He's just a
Da-da-da-da-da.
puppet. He's just
When
the
Bush was in
face.
office, he don't really run it. He just a puppet. There's a higher power. But when Trump get in office, oh, he run it. So he running, huh?
No, Russia runs the country. He just spoke to Vlad. He just spoke to Vladimir Putin today.
What if
telling him
Russia?
that the
Okay,
Mueller
but what if
report was
Russia
bullshit.
always run the country? What if Russia always ran the country?
I believe it has, or not Russia, but just not the president.
So why are we so mad at Trump if he like? That's like when I always said this is like when Paula Dean, they found out that she said nigga. She's from the South. She's like 60. She cooks with mad butter. She grew up with black mammies. I expect her to be like that. Because some people is nature versus environment.
Can we go back to Kanye just real quick?
Yes.
I just feel like Kanye is just. He's worked himself into a position where his voice could reach the entire planet if possible.
So it has
And I
Jay-Z.
feel like-
So it has everybody on.
Yeah.
So it has every celebrity out there.
Everyone.
Every celebrity, Michael Jordan, everybody
we're talking
has
about Kanye
the
right
platform.
now. But we're talking about Kanye
But
right now.
so we gotta get that responsibility to everybody. You know how I am about this.
I know, but we're talking specifically on Kanye West right now.
He's trying to heal
I think
people.
he's more, and I think he's doing it in a very selfish way. I feel like all these other people you named have been a bit more selfless with their energy and their contribution to the planet than Kanye has. I think Kanye is all
We're not
about
even
Kanye.
aware of all the contributions that he may have made.
Yeah.
We're only aware of what's
Just
been
like
reported.
Thank you.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
fair. I can't speak on what I've seen. What I've seen in recent years, from like 2013 Yeezus album to 2019.
Even that's a warped perspective because again, we're only seeing it through a
If my
certain
man out
lens.
here selling what he's selling, let me tell you something. Kanye ain't got no goddamn money.
Right.
I need y'all to understand this.
For real.
He ain't got no liquid cash. All his money is
What is he
tied
doing
up
to get
in.
this money? Get the money right now.
Yeezys.
When you are when you're a crazy person like Kanye,
Yeah.
who has, remember when he first started fashion, that whole first line fucking failed.
Yeah.
Yeezy
He lost, like, $2
saved
million.
him.
Yeah.
So he's still paying back all this business. That's like
Yes.
Netflix, who don't even own $1 to their goddamn company because they're like $1 billion in debt.
Yeah.
These people don't have money. So every time Kanye's out here selling you something, it's because he's trying to add up get out the red zone. You think Kim money's tied up with Kanye's money?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Her money up here. Kanye money right here.
Right.
Love him dearly. But let's stop acting like these celebrities got liquid. They don't have liquid. They have assets. They have their money tied up in things. If the stock market blow, everybody fucking broke. If the stock crash, niggas is down. Like,
You asked me why, like, when I mentioned, like, Kanye, figure out what side he's on. Like, you don't think everyone should have a side in a certain, I guess...
I'm just wondering why you feel the need, or why you feel he needs to display for you which side he's on.
because none of them do. Let's be very clear. None of them display the side until it fits them. T.I. with the whole Gucci, let's boycott Gucci for 3 months. And that does what, motherfucker?
I mean, let's be clear. I don't like any celebrities, like, outside of, like, whatever art they create. But, like, I just feel like, I guess because, like, I'm working...
Separate the art and the man. How about that? I think that's what people need to
I do
start
that.
doing.
I do
They
that.
need to
believe
start
in that.
separating the art, who they are.
And the type of man that I've seen from Kanye in recent years, I don't respect that man. I don't think he moves with as much integrity as he should be with the amount of energy he has potential to spread to the entire world. Like, he could shift a lot of people's perspectives and consciousness if he wanted to.
But Kid Cudi does. Go be his fan.
Cudi, what does Cudi do?
He shifts the car. I went to a Cudi concert. That shit was so electrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Cudi made me leave the concert and excuse me, want to speak to all my ancestors and spirit guides and just give the universe a high five.
The ones that I follow, people, like the very few amount of people that I follow actively, that I'm a fan of, like, yeah.
21 Savage has a whole, like, his whole Ifa religion. Like, there's so many other people out there you can look up to.
Truth, like, I don't follow.
Like, we
some-
don't have
I
to
follow,
bash Kanye.
I follow people like y'all, like people like just regular people who I feel are doing right thing and trying to change the world in their own way through a positive manner and just full of integrity. Like, because I feel like all celebrities are full of shit.
But you know what, Jeff? I love you so much. There's one lesson I want you to learn. Even the man with the highest integrity can have the filthiest closet.
I believe it.
And you just
No
have
one's
to
perfect.
let that go.
No,
Yeah,
no
nobody's
one's perfect, but it's just like.
What?
It's just depressing when you think about it. Like, everyone's full of shit. At the
I
end
mean,
of the day.
everybody can be full of shit. It's not that everybody's full of shit. Everybody can be full of shit. It's just about what level you're going to get it on.
Yeah. I just know what I'm trying to do and try to accomplish, and I just feel like not everyone should try to copy me, but just, have the same good intentions for the planet, because at the end of the day, this shit we ain't gonna be here forever. Like, why not leave, like, a positive legacy behind? Like, why not
be
A lot of
leave?
people don't give two shits about
Be
that.
the change you want
They
to
just
see.
don't.
That's true.
Yeah, be the change you want to see in the world, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be the change you want to see.
That's all you can focus on is you.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, I definitely feel you on that, but I can't be mad at a human being that just wants to live their existence and not necessarily contribute to society or contribute to the, you know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
sucks for them because
it's-
really that's your purpose.
that
You're
is your
supposed to
purpose,
learn
and that's what you're
and grow
supposed to
and
do.
build and go
Yeah,
from there.
And
But-
contribute in your own way. We all have a
Yes.
footprint to live on somebody or and just on the world in general. So it's
Yeah.
just like, do your part while you're here and everybody can move smoothly. But
not
I feel
everybody
like
thinks like
life
that.
would be less interesting if everybody was just so straight on the path and on
Yeah.
their journey. It would just
Yeah.
probably be a little boring. So you welcome the fuck ups, welcome the crazies, welcome everything, because it just makes
Yeah.
your life a little bit more
A
interesting.
little more spicy.
If these niggas wasn't out here acting crazy, Whitney Williams wouldn't have a job. Nobody, we wouldn't even probably have a guy. We wouldn't
If
be doing this
everybody
right
did
now.
the right thing, if everybody was just like super selfless and humble, yeah, it would be kind of
Utopia. It
boring.
would be
It'd
utopia.
be a-
It'd be a
yeah.
little-
I will check out the next Kanye album because I know it's coming, but it's just the path to the next album. I just don't. I think it's
And
too
I'm
dirty.
gonna say, as much as I love Kanye, I have not listened to anything past Pablo.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't listen to the 7 album songs that he did with like Pusha T?
No,
Tiana
I
Taylor?
listened to Nas, Pusha T's, and
Tiana Taylor.
Ugh, Nas
No,
album.
I
don't.
didn't like it.
I really,
Yeah.
I
I mean, I
enjoyed
liked it
Nas'
initially,
album.
but
I
I
enjoyed
didn't-
the A song.
Not
Like,
on a
I
continual
enjoyed
basis
it.
to listen.
I like the Nas album.
Have y'all ever seen a Nas interview? Like heard Nas actually talk?
He's
I
a
ha-
Virgo. We don't do interviews. Him and Beyonce, we don't do interviews.
It wasn't
Has
an
this
interview, but I seen like a little documentary they were doing on him, and I was just like, that was my first time hearing him speak. So funny he said that, and I love Nas, and I was just like, yo,
Disappointed?
he's a real he's a nigga, yo.
He is, yo.
Like he's a nigga,
Like,
like
don't Nas sound like he was just born with a cigarette in his mouth?
yeah. Yo, the way he said, he's like, we probably just go chill on the porch,
That's the Virgo for you. We just like
make some burgers. Yo, when he said that, I was like, yo,
You ever
he's a
heard, like
nigga,
Beyonce
son.
interviews, she sounds so country and home, like.
Yes.
She's from the South, right?
She's from the South. Like, you could tell, like, she's
Like
low-key
Virgos,
ratchet.
I don't know. I feel like, I'm going to say Virgos, but I feel like people, because you said 2 Virgos. You said Nas.
You got mad lollipops over there. By
No,
the way.
I wanted to get my other one, but forget it.
I disrespect the
Virgos
Kanye
is
too
just
much.
like, yeah, we don't know how do you say? I can't pretend for so long before the whole me come out. Like I could be prim and proper, then like that next 30 minutes I probably done burped, chew, chew with my mouth open and shit. Like I don't give a damn.
Y'all just chill until y'all not.
Yeah.
Basically.
I feel like
But I'm always chill because when I get not chilled, it has to be a real good reason, and then that was a pressure point. That means it was building for years.
Can y'all promise me something? Just as we all like go up into the stratosphere of
I
success.
feel like I know what you're gonna say.
Can y'all just like try to move with integrity as much as y'all can and not be like a fuck boy / woman? Like
Yeah,
just
of course.
But
just
what
because
if
like
I'm
it's just not right.
You
Like
can't be a fuck boy with integrity. Don't listen to Jeff, okay? Let me tell you something, people, all right? You got your demons, you got your highs, you got your lows. Integrity is your integrity. Your character is who you are.
yeah, your character. Just be good. Be good.
Just
people,
be good,
man.
people. But you are who you are. Own your shit. Period. Like
Right.
we cannot be sitting here. Jeff, nobody's gonna forget about you. We all made it very clear, but we all make it somewhere.
No, not about forgetting anyone. I
Oh.
just want y'all to just like. I don't know. I don't want to have an opinion on y'all that like I have the opinion on Kanye.
And there's a good chance
Yeah,
that if
man.
I ever make it, they probably have like 7 sex tapes of me somewhere. I don't know.
You got them out there? They out there?
I mean, I wouldn't be
Jeff.
surprised, but yeah, not like that. But you never know. Like,
Oh, I
know what I'm
thought
trying
she
to
meant
say?
like. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know what she meant. I just got. You know what I mean? That's a dope hat, by the way.
I have a quick question to go around the table. It's totally random and off topic. If you were a porn star, what would your porn star name be?
Oh, it's supposed to be the street you grew up on, the name of the street you grew up on, and what the fuck else? And your nickname in high school, some shit like that.
Porn stars
There's
have
like
nicknames?
there's a formula to it.
Yeah.
No, like the male ones. Like I didn't know they. I thought they just went by their name.
No, those
I'm
be
sure
fake
his
names.
name is not Brian Pumper.
Those be fake
Oh
names.
yeah, that guy.
Those definitely be
Alexis
fake
Didn't that
names.
guy have?
Theo.
Used to wear like plastic chains that like look real, like plastic like gold chains.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that they all. Yeah, that was the one. Though.
Did you think about this? Is that why you asked? Is like you want to reveal your name?
No, I thought about this because when you were
What's that sex tape?
yeah, when you were talking about that, I was thinking of a funny name for Lainey. I was
What's
thinking
my name?
Rainy Laney.
Yeah, I like that one. Rainy Laney. I'm gonna use that.
So funny.
Watch out now.
If anything else you want to do doesn't work out, you could probably try that.
What?
The Rainy Laney. You could sell Rainy Laney merch with like an umbrella
That'd
and
be
like your
cool.
face or something. I don't know. Like
Rainy
your faces will be dropping like as like raindrops.
Are you
Onto an umbrella.
so wait, did this nigga just tell me if nothing works out to go be a porn star or some shit?
I
Is
just
that
said
what you just
merch.
told
Like
me?
you can make like Rainy Lady merch. Like you have like an
Yo.
umbrella, like a black shirt,
Yo,
and then like your
This
face
guy
will
is
be in like the raindrops.
wildin'.
That's one hell of a plan B.
For real, like that's what I'm worth to be a porn star. Like
I don't even know how you
Jeff.
become a porn star, so it's not even a valuable like.
I don't know.
fucking-
But you just said that's my plan B, guys. You heard it here first. Rainy Laney's out there. Look for me up.
I said Rainy Lady merchandise.
Like, I
That's
don't-
dope. You should patent that.
If I was a porn star, I'd make mine's Chocolate Rod.
You would. Yes, you would.
I really
Yes,
would.
you would.
You better check your email right now. They're probably emailing you right now about that. Isn't like I thought you had to like didn't as like a guy trying to become a porn star. You have to like have sex with another guy.
I don't think you have to, but I know there's people who do that, but I don't think you have to.
What's Jeff porn star name?
I don't have one.
That's funny. What would be his porn star name?
The petty pumper.
I love it. I love it. The Petty Pumper.
The petty pumper.
Yeah, I'm dying because I pictured it too. The Petty Pumper. I was picturing it.
That's actually really good.
It just
I ain't
came
gonna
to
lie.
me.
That's mad good.
It
That
just
was
came
a
to me.
great
That's mad good.
name.
Petty pumper.
The Petty Pumper.
Thank you. I don't know where it came from.
That'd be dope. I probably one of the porn stars with, like wearing the Timbs and shit too. Like you know the
Yes.
dudes be wearing
No,
the
He
Timbs.
would always wear Timbs.
All right, he's from Jersey, guys. He's not. He's not wearing Timbs, okay?
Ayo.
Yo, you about to go to LA next week, right?
Yeah.
You about to get into that porn life out
Nice.
there?
Hell
Is that where you
no.
going? Oh, I didn't know where you was going.
That's no. That's like STD Central. No way.
Oh,
Is it?
Jesus.
I
It
thought
actually
it-
is.
I
Yeah.
thought that
It
went
actually
in-
is. No
No,
offense,
it
but it
is.
is.
I
It's
thought
fact.
everybody
That's
has
why I was just
something.
like, Jeff almost got punched in the eye talking about be a porn star. But
That's not what I even said. I said Rainy Lane
anyway, let's give Coco her porn star name.
What would mine
Cocoa
be?
Puffs.
Would it be Cocoa Puff? I don't know.
I don't know.
No, we need something more sensual.
Okay, you're not naming it.
I'm not that clever with the whole. I haven't even came up with a nickname for myself, a regular name. I can't think of like a porn star name.
Freaky Kiki. That's another.
There-
my other
there
nickname's
you go.
Kiki. Freaky Kiki.
I'll probably call you Coco.
She
Puff.
has you have a career.
It's not good enough. Cocoa Puff.
Yeah, because like when you put it in the
Gotta
milk,
be
it turns
snazzier.
brown and it's like,
What?
Put what in the middle?
What?
The Cocoa
What
Puff.
turns brown?
What?
Nothing's turning brown.
Whoa,
God damn it.
no.
what the fuck?
I don't know. There's something
the-
like I guess
What the fuck?
you never had Cocoa Puffs and put them in the milk and the milk turned
I don't
brown.
even eat
I don't
Cocoa
eat Cocoa
Puffs.
Puffs.
I do like Cocoa Puffs, and I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm still weirded out.
No, just the transition like is like smooth from like the transition to the white milk.
We're gonna
to
go
the
with
chocolate
Freaky
milk.
Kiki. It seems like
Freaky
Coco
Kiki.
has
No,
a
that's Cocoa
good at
Puff.
my
That's
she
own
what
has
it
a
is.
future in naming the porn stars out
I'm
here.
typing in Cocoa Puff and X videos. Like that's like something searchable. That's like something like, oh, that's a dope name. Like let me see what this is about.
So when we leave here, I'm gonna go in the lobby. I'm gonna go to Pornhub.
Yeah.
Pornhub. I'm gonna put Cocoa Puff. We're gonna see what pops up.
We might have. What's y'all favorite cereal? Do y'all have one? Or do y'all even eat cereal nowadays?
Honey
Nah,
I don't
Smacks.
eat cereal anymore,
Yeah,
unfortunately. But
yeah. I
Frosted
used to
Flakes,
love
special
cereal.
cakes. I got the
Yo.
munchies now, so I want some cereal. I was thinking about when you said Cocoa. I said Cocoa Puffs. I'm like, I want some Honey Smacks.
I
was
like
in
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
I never even
sometimes
had
it's
those.
good.
I never had those ever.
When I'm
Fruity
high,
Pebbles?
and I'm not gonna lie, I do
Yeah.
like them a little soggy.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like
do like mine
cereal a
a
little
little
soggy.
Yeah, I
like
that.
Certain ones, like if you have like, I guess Frosted Flakes, for example, like I don't know, I
a
like it
little
crunchy,
soggy.
like
crunchy soggy.
fresh out the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
not completely crunchy, a little soft.
Is all cereal like technically just bad for you, like sugar filled? And
I don't care.
That's
That's
why
Is there
I
Most of it, I believe. Yeah.
That's why I just don't eat it anymore. I haven't
What
had
about
cereal all
Kicks?
year.
That's bad for you.
I don't know if they're bad for you. I've seen those shits. They look too nasty to me. They in the orange box or yellow box.
I wasn't a big fan of Kicks. I mean,
By the way,
That was that was a cereal you ate where your mother said no sugar cereal.
exactly.
Kicks.
that's what you eat when you had nothing else like for
And, you
breakfast.
be
I
like,
did
and then
like-
pour sugar on the shit.
Yeah.
I did like
Shit
Life
bland as fuck.
cereal. Life.
Life was pretty good.
I
I like
did like-
Chex.
Nigga, life. Where you
Chex
from,
is
bro?
good. Yeah, Chex,
What
Chex,
nigga in
rice
Elizabeth,
Chex.
New Jersey? Yo, if you're from Elizabeth, New Jersey, eat a life cereal. Leave a comment on this episode and tell me what is going on in your household.
Yo, what's wrong with life?
What is life, nigga?
You never heard of it?
That's,
Is that the
What?
shredded wheat cereal?
Yeah, what is life?
it's
Oh,
low
okay.
key
It's
It's
life cereal.
but
It's like
what-
Chex.
but what is it? Is it like? What does it look
It's
like?
almost
I
like
guess?
Chex. You ever seen Chex? The
Yeah,
square
little-
piece?
yeah.
So imagine all that covered in like a little honey.
Yeah, I'm cool, my nigga.
And I got a banana in the house. The special K is about to be awesome.
Yeah, I love Special
sauce.
K.
Okay, so I guess we go.
The
pop
cereal
up-
people, the cereal, not the drug.
By the way, they released.
There's a drug called Special
Yeah.
K.
I didn't know
It's a horse
that.
tranquilizer.
Oh
By
my
the way,
God.
there's
my
there's this
God.
thing out there in the streets called banana almond milk. It's out there. It's new. That shit look fire. I'm going to Target on Sunday to pick
Oh
that
my
I'm
up.
good.
God.
I'm
Banana
good.
I
almond
love
milk.
almond milk.
Banana
Banana
almond
almond milk.
milk.
Oh
Okay.
man,
They
I'm
put
trying
real
I like
to-
banana
my
flavor
milk
in the
straight
shit.
from
Is
the
it real
cow.
bananas in the shit? I
I
can just
think
have
it's
real
real.
banana.
I'm gonna bring it in next podcast. We all gonna take a sip. Do
All
a
right.
Don't give
review.
me that
I'll watch
fake
y'all
ass
take a
milk.
sip. I ain't gonna sip that
I'm
shit.
down.
I like that whole milk. I'm sorry, like I can't get
I
with
like
the
you.
soy milk, almond milk, lactate shit. I want whole milk.
Almond milk doesn't taste. It tastes better to me.
I
than
love
whole milk.
almond milk.
Yeah.
I hear
I haven't
what you're
had whole.
saying.
I haven't had besides ice cream. I haven't had whole milk in years.
I, had
I
ice
love
cream in
almond milk.
months. 2 months.
Mm.
That's my weakness.
Haagen Dazs.
What were you about to say, Lainey? I'm sorry.
I was gonna just ask some questions, like, cause you know we started rambling out here.
Can I like say pass to the question if it's too
I
personal?
love questions.
I'm not gonna ask you that in person. Don't worry, I won't do you like that. You know your
I
shit all
love
fucked up.
questions.
Okay.
She ain't lying either. She's
Missed
fucked up.
that.
Okay, lost art of kissing. Do people still kiss?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I love kissing.
Yeah.
I go.
I have an
Never
oral
mind.
fixation.
I don't kiss. I'm just horrible with it.
Are you serious?
I don't kiss. No,
That's
I
like
do
the
not kiss.
entryway to everything else. out
Word.
there. Like,
That's
Is
what
it
I
really?
never
that's the
understood.
gatekeeper.
That. Yeah. How do people have sex without kissing? Like,
Some people feel it's too personal.
really?
It is. It's super. I'm not fucking nobody I love, so
Oh.
eat my pussy and let's go.
So he'll eat it but can't kiss you?
No, don't kiss me.
What?
What if
I
they
I'm
feel-
not really a kisser.
So what if they go for the
Oh
kiss?
my
Like, do you just
gosh.
like, nah, I'm good, or do you like literally
My feelings
push
would
them
be
away?
hurt. I think she would do one of those while
Well-
he tries to kiss her. She would just
No,
be
she'd be
All
like,
the-
like,
all
this
the-
is
all
the
the-
guy.
One
My
of the
bad,
tea
my bad,
business.
my bad.
This is the
But,
guy. She's just like, she backs away from the mic, like, no, you ain't gonna kiss me, nigga, or nigga. I don't know.
Nigga.
What do you
I hate men sometimes. I really do hate men. Like when men just want to force. But no, I don't.
You don't kiss.
I'm
you missing out.
shocked.
I ain't gonna lie, you missing
I
out.
love
But you know what it is?
kissing.
I'm also not dating. I'm also not really doing nothing. So
You gotta protect yourself at that point.
That's true.
Because niggas at Coachella just got mad herpes. Like, did y'all see that?
Oh.
Herpes Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an app called Herp Alert that people had to download to find out if they had it. And then that's how like the numbers came out. All these people had it.
That's sad.
Wait, what?
That is sad.
Okay, so
I heard about 11,000, but Herp Alert is where we got me confused.
it's an app called Herp Alert that people had to download and fucking check out and see if they had it or not.
That's so crazy.
And they got it. I'm glad I didn't go to Coachella. I mean, I wouldn't have kissed nobody, but I feel like you just get it just off the strength. Like,
It's not like I don't do kiss. I do kiss in relationships, but I'm not.
only in relationships. That's fair.
I mean, yeah, only relationships. Like, I guess. Oh, yeah.
What does it take to get into a relationship with Lainey? I feel like it's like a long process of like,
A relationship with Helene, with me?
yes.
Oh, hell no. No. I'm not jaded. I'm just good.
What does it take to get in a relationship with Coco? What's like the vetting process before you like be like, okay, I can really fuck with this person?
That's a good question, considering I'm not trying to be in a relationship right now.
I mean, you just curved this person because they were too young. But
No.
what if they weren't?
Well, yeah, but
Like, what
what
would
if
it
they
take?
weren't?
Yeah.
I guess I really just go off vibe, like, you know, like where they are in their life. Do they have kids? Do they want kids?
Are
Like,
kids a deal breaker? I mean, you have.
I
a
mean,
kid,
could be,
but-
yeah, but I don't necessarily want more. So it could be a deal breaker if I meet somebody who's majority of the time I do meet somebody who's younger, and if they haven't had kids, it's probably like I'm gonna back away slowly because, you know, I don't want to have to go down that road again.
I was wondering, like, if you're in a relationship with someone with a kid, do you have to like care about the kid? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like that's like not my business in a way. Like,
Am I a horrible person?
Are you fucking the person or do you want to be in a relationship? Depends. If
There
you're fucking
you
the
go.
person,
That's the
then
question. That's the question right there.
if I'm
That is a good
if I'm
question.
fucking you, then no, I don't have to care about the kid. I
If
shouldn't
you're
have
just
to.
yeah,
no.
But
but
if-
you're just oh god. I don't know. I'm very weird when it comes to. I don't feel like men should date women with kids unless they have an idea of wanting to be with this woman and settling down with this woman.
I
Especially
100%
if she
agree.
has a younger child, like, you know, anywhere between 0 and 7, maybe.
I agree.
Like, I don't know. I read an article like a few months back in Essence, and it was a man. He was saying like why he doesn't date women with kids
I'm the
because
same. I was
women
like
with
that when I
kids,
was
they have
single.
a whole different mindset. They're not
Yes.
thinking about the same things you're thinking about when you don't have
Just
kids.
having fun.
Their first thing is
No.
about their child.
Yes.
The oldest woman I ever dated, she was 35 and I was 23, and she had a kid, and she was like kind of still with her husband. And like at that point in my life, I was like, I don't have to care about this kid. Like 23, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
just
you're young.
young. I'm fucking older white lady, and
Wait, what?
yeah, it was older white lady. It was crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, but I feel like as like you're old enough to you could possibly support this kid, it's just like like maybe you have to be in that kid's life, like.
Again, different strokes, different folks, but I don't believe that people should lead on women with kids.
And I was just gonna
I don't
ask
think
that
you should.
question.
Like, you don't date a woman with kids just to date them. It's either you're dating them to be with them and settle down with them and their kid. Like, it's just a lot with that. But I don't feel like women with kids just date to date.
and
And
that's
tell-
what I was.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you guys because like I was faced with that a lot because
I ain't
like
got no kids, Josh.
like
Tell me you have a kid right out the gate. Don't like hide the kid and just wait till like we already in too deep.
right.
Tell me you have a kid right out the
People
bat.
don't do that anymore, do they?
Yeah, I don't think they do that no more.
Didn't Drake just hide his kid from the world?
Well,
like,
he's
That-
a whole.
that's
Don't
these
bring
men.
him up.
motherfuckers like no,
That's-
but people
don't
are
bring
hiding
him
their
up.
kids.
Don't bring him up.
People are
I
hiding
don't
their
think he
kids.
hid his kid. I just think he didn't tell he had a kid.
I remember in college there was this
People act
older
like they're
female that
kids.
wanted to date me, and then she told me she had a daughter that was like 16, and I'm just like, well, at the time I'm only like 23.
That would
And
be
I'm-
too close for
That's
me.
way
that would
too
be for me. That would be
close.
too close.
I'm like, yo, I could be her older brother,
I would have did it.
and then so like.
At 23, I would have did it.
But look, like, and all of that. So I just told her, you know, we had a conversation. I was just like, I can never. I said we can hang out. You know what I'm saying? We can chill. You know what I mean?
fucked up,
But
man.
I don't see myself taking somebody with kids seriously. But that's me being real. I'm young at that age. I know I ain't ready to be a stepfather and handle that. Nah, I'll tap it though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think.
Like,
See, I feel like older women like who were kind of single, like that have kids like around that age. I feel like they're not looking for nothing serious. They probably just got to like. In my case, she was going through shit with her husband.
Oh, so she just wanted you to, you know, be
I
a
was
young
the
little,
boy toy.
young little ball.
Yeah, I was the boy toy.
Young
Like,
ball.
yeah.
I feel
Did you live up to her expectations?
I like to think so, but it didn't last just because like it got too weird for me. Just because like I don't know, she got tired mad early.
You so stupid.
I'm
Wait,
just
what?
like,
That's true. They get
That could have been
tired.
curved, not for nothing.
hey, but
Could have been.
I'm like, what woman? How old is she again? 35. I'm not 35 yet, so
yeah,
I'm, yeah.
She might have been older than that, saying she 35. Who knows? I don't know no 35-year-old that
yeah.
need a
White
nap.
people
I'm just
do
saying.
look older than what they look.
You know what? That's a whole. Forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, she was white. That was the only white
I
person.
feel like we
ever
should
had
get
sex
into
with.
that for somebody
What?
who doesn't, who's so jaded with white people. You taking down their queens, eh?
Right.
I was young. Like that was when like I mean I ain't
You
know
still have rose-colored glasses on.
I ain't know shit was fucked up out here. I mean,
So at what age did you realize? What age?
wait, we're not interviewing.
At
Jeff.
what
Why?
point did
Why?
you become woke? Woke.
Well, can we ask this question to the room first and it circle around to me? Like,
Mhm.
can we start from conscious rap?
Yeah,
He probably got
Not-
conscious at birth. You know what I mean,
Oh
like,
my god.
I answered my own
Gassing me.
question. I don't think I'm woke. I'm aware. And I didn't become
Yeah,
aware
that's a
until
better-
I was about. I want to say 28, 29, maybe going through my divorce. Yeah.
yeah.
No, before then, because I was always pro-black, so it was just one of those things. But I don't feel like I became more aware of myself in the universe. 28, 29.
Yeah, I became aware. All right, so fuck it. I became aware like around 24. I'm 27 now, so like, yeah, like 3 years ago.
But I have a question. What's the difference between being woke and being aware?
I don't like to say I'm woke because woke comes with this whole thing, this whole stigma, like, oh, you're so woke. You know, this natural hair. I don't do this. I only wear,
Oh, okay.
You
I
know,
get what you're saying.
what's that, baking soda for deodorant. I'm not woke. I'm aware.
So
I know
woke is like you're a practitioner of.
I know what's
all
going
that.
on around me. I'm aware of what's going on around me.
Okay.
Woke is like every white person in like Brooklyn right now. Like they're the hipsters. Like
Okay,
they
so
care
Yeah, I
that's
about.
feel
woke.
like that whole woke
Okay.
movement.
Oh, I care about the
Okay.
planet.
Because, you know, even
like,
with the whole woke movement.
pick up your
it's-
trash. Like them niggas. Like
With the
What's
whole
wrong
woke
with them?
movement, it's like
no, but they don't really care. Like they just saying that to like you know what I mean.
I don't think that's woke. I think that's environmentalist. Like they care about the environment. When I say woke, it's to that whole movement of people of color who are tracing back to their roots, and they want to say that the Himotabs and Black Israelites. You know, those group of people who are just so woke in their blackness.
Like, most of the
Where they're
people are,
taking
like,
it back
they've
to the
learned-
pyramids
yeah,
and to the
okay.
East, and it's just like, you know, not all of us is from the pyramids, and we need to accept that. So I'm not woke. I'm aware.
Sounds like everyone who like goes to Afropunk every summer.
Yeah, like
Like,
that's what I mean by woke. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's the woke collective. I don't feel like I'm woke. I'm just aware of what's around me.
I'm very aware. 24.
Yes.
I'm 25. Sorry. Yeah, 24. My bad.
Coco.
I would say I became aware, or I was aware, but actually wanted to participate in being aware probably around 25, 26, residually. And then by 28, I was like, all right, I'm more aware now, but
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, I don't know.
I just
Like
hate that. Like
I don't call myself like woke.
I hate like
Yeah.
being aware is kind of like a trendy thing though. Like I made the joke.
You
about
think
it, like,
everything's
Woke
trendy.
is being trendy. That's what, and that's
Yeah.
why I said aware. Like, aware. We all aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was really young because I had a lot of older cousins and I hung around a lot of older people. So I felt like I started becoming around like 19. But around that time, it was too much for me to handle. Like, I'm talking about, it was so much for me to handle. I had a mental breakdown and I ended up being institutionalized. Like, that, it was an entire experience, my experience from turning my consciousness to where it is now. It was an entire, like, I went into temporary psychosis. Like,
Oh, nigga, you woke the fuck up.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. I went through, I saw things that, like, I'll tell y'all the story at different
so
times.
yeah, CR is talking
Wait,
about
why
a
at
whole
different
when-
times?
No, because that's a whole
it's a
different
long
thing.
story.
Yeah.
It's a very long story. Like, I've met spirits.
That's when he woke from consciousness. Like he was no longer of the 3D and went into 5D.
Exactly, and I was seeing, like, I was able to, like, I felt like I was able to see people's spirits, like that whole journey, like, it was crazy. Like, it's just to people who don't believe in that stuff or not spiritual, they'll just say you went through a
And you're
temporary
Haitian
psychosis.
too, right?
Exactly.
Oh shit, you had
exactly.
some
And my
one
great
hell of a
aunt,
journey.
and my great aunt was a voodoo priest.
So yeah, you all damn. I want to hear about this though. That's interesting. That's
It's
a
a
whole
long
topic by
story.
itself. But see,
It's a long story.
if we all had to answer that question, then I feel like that happened to me when I was about 5, 6. When I first started feeling like,
I don't know. Like, is it weird that I can't remember much of my childhood? Like, I feel like my memories kind of started like And my most like that I can really remember is like at high school. Like
You
I
probably
can't.
suppressed a lot of shit.
Maybe I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the reason. But
My earliest memory was before I was born.
So I can remember my mom holding me on her arms when I was a baby.
I remember some memories, but like not too vividly. Like, do you guys feel like drugs kind of like speed up that process of awareness in any way, or is that just like false?
I still those
False
shits before I
awareness.
started taking drugs.
Gotcha. Okay, but like you don't think that like adds to it as well? Like,
I feel like drugs take it away from me.
I feel the same way because when I went through what I went through, I had stopped smoking and drinking for like a week before I went through that whole like psychosis.
right?
I was sober as fuck, and they tried to say it was because I was smoking weed.
Because I feel like I started to accept myself more. I think when I was doing like stuff like that, like never like any pills or anything, but like weed and like especially like the acid, like because that's like when I really part of that process of like say like, psychedelics is like a process. So like part of that process is like looking into yourself and asking yourself certain questions, like why you do these certain things and why you do these certain things each day, and like I think that kind of like helped my progression to where I am now, like physically, mentally, whatever, like. The acid, like this, the acceptance of myself and getting the answers to those questions I never really willing to face. So I was curious if you guys had that same experience with like anything you've ever partaken in like every type of drugs or whatever. Like have that awareness of yourself hasn't been brought about through
It makes it a little foggier, but I still have the same awareness if I were sober in regards to
Yeah,
that.
I say luckily.
I'm gonna
I
get y'all
ask
some
myself-
acid, yo, for real.
No, luckily I feel like with that it'll take me to the deep end because I ask myself those questions sober. Like when I'm triggered or if I feel like I'm about to go through a point, I start asking myself the questions that I don't want to ask myself or the shit I don't want to admit. Like I have to get real with myself.
Yeah.
So when are we doing DMT?
No, we're not gonna do DMC first. That's
Why not?
no, we can't do that.
There's levels to this shit.
There's levels of psychedelics for
Go
sure.
right
like,
to the top. Goddamn.
no,
it.
we going Denver's trying to fucking legalize shrooms, so we're gonna go to.
I don't do no fucking shrooms.
I want to try
I want to go
shrooms.
right to the top.
No,
I'm
no.
afraid to do.
We don't gotta eat them because they're nasty. From what I heard, put them with some tea.
I want to try shrooms. I don't want to do no goddamn acid.
We're gonna put some shrooms in some tea. We're gonna sip it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm scared.
don't be scared.
Can we
you
just
can't
be
be scared.
on
You're
a,
gonna
I
die.
need to
That's
be
why I
in a
don't wanna
ranch
do
house.
it.
Like I need to be somewhere where there's no levels. It has to be one floor. In case I want to jump out the window, I'm gonna like
Oh my god.
land on the
Jesus.
grass.
Yo,
Serious.
dead ass.
That's
y'all,
my fear.
Do y'all dead ass like want to like plan like a trip or somewhere we could really do this? Like,
Yeah.
I'm down for the trip, but I can't promise I'm gonna do
you
it.
gonna be around in LA, bro. Someone's gonna someone offer you some shrooms.
I've
you got
been
to do.
offered all types of drugs.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like with shrooms, like you can't just seek it out. You can't like go to a deal like you got that.
somebody offers it.
You got to do it that way if someone offers it to you because it's not gonna happen every day.
I'm not. Gonna,
You got to do it. So I swear to God, that's what I've been told.
Peer pressure doesn't work that well with me because I really just don't give a fuck.
Yo, why are you going to LA again? By the way.
I'm visiting my boy G. He moved out there with his mom and his sister, and I'm also gonna link up with a producer out there that I know.
You making some
Nice.
music out there?
I want to, yeah. He got signed to Def Jam, and they moved him. Well, the headquarters now I heard is in LA, so that's why he's living out there. He's been working, so I'm trying to get in the studio, meet some of his people, get some music done.
Can you bring back some In-N-Out burger? Like I don't care how bad it
My
is, how bad it,
God.
like how stale it is. Just bring it back, bro.
Yo, you're a dick.
I want to
not
try
that
it, bro.
good.
It looks so good.
It's not that great.
It's not that
My
great.
opinion.
Oh,
It's
you
just a burger. It's just some patties together with some cheese.
some processed.
They love
meat.
it out there. It's hella cheap, but
Cheap,
yeah.
really.
It's like White
So cheap.
Castle cheap. That White Castle ain't cheap. Them one of them little ass burgers for $1.
Let me ask y'all
Shimmy
something.
burgers.
Mm.
Shimmy burgers.
So like when I was on that same train with the guys who were speaking on that prolific shit, like I was noticing. No, actually I switched trains after that. It was that same day, and I was noticing just everyone's posture on the train. Like everyone was bent over on their phones.
I noticed that Wednesday when we went out.
yeah.
But it's fucking weird because like
It's weird.
I was on my phone doing the same thing, and I
Yes.
got back up, but I got into like a correct position, like correct posture, and it felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? Is that like part of their scheme to like keep us enwrapped in his phones and
Yes.
get our posture as bad it is, so they can like control?
Well, it's more about controlling our minds, but if you
Definitely
want to,
about
it
controlling
starts
the
with the
mind.
spine, if you will.
Because doesn't that
Right.
can that potentially what's that scoliosis? Isn't that what it's called? Like
What?
isn't
I
that
have
trouble in your
scoliosis.
spine or something?
Well,
Like?
your spine is twisted to a certain degree.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
it's not
like,
like
you're never gonna be like. I remember
straight.
working
Like-
for the city. We had like the guy come in to do the chairs and everything, and he was just saying you're never gonna be standing, sitting upright, because it's gonna be like you have to have like a little bend. into your back, so that way everything is more comfortable.
Yeah,
And he
everybody's
also
spine
said
is
something
curved,
like when
yeah.
you lay down all night and then you wake up like you're a little shorter or some shit.
Yeah, your spine,
You
it
shrink.
compresses. So the first thing you do when you wake up is that you should stretch. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you
These
lose
were-
about a half an inch to an inch.
There was
through a
like
day.
some kids on the same train, like bent over on their phones, and I'm just like, yo, you're fucking up your back, man. Like, and it just weirded me out. It just really like posture is important.
We pay too much attention to our phones. Period.
I know I'm addicted to my phone.
Like,
I've
we're
gotten better,
walking
but
zombies now. Walking sheep.
What's it called? Dopamine. It's like a new form of like addiction that
is,
they're.
though.
It's dopamine addiction. It's a new form of addiction.
I mean, I do
That's
set
not
my
nice.
Instagram for I have like an hour and a half.
How long could you go out with your phone, honestly?
go without it.
I
Yeah.
did
Go without
what-
the whole day. You can go without it the whole day.
I can't do the whole day. Honestly probably like maybe like 3 hours.
That's.
I'm bad. I'm addicted. Yes.
Well, you. Okay, so during those 3 hours of time on your phone or whatever, like, is it
away
mostly-
from my phone.
No, during the time you're on your phone, how much of it is like business versus like just bullshit?
To be honest, 90. All right, I would say 85% business, 15% pleasure.
Okay, then that makes sense. But like,
But still, it's an addiction.
yeah,
It's totally an addiction. Like, I mean, constantly checking my emails, constantly replying to text messages. Like, it's bad. Like,
I'm on my phone right now.
always. Like,
But
yeah.
like, yeah, it's just I don't know. Like, I just get off your phone sometimes, man.
I do. I'll
People
take
in
it.
general, just get
I'll
off your
put it
phone.
in another room. And then
There's a difference.
I'll go watch a movie. But it sucks because, like, I really can't watch a whole movie without checking my notifications.
Because the movies be boring sometimes. You need some sort of
Right.
escape.
In that moment, and then I'm, like, scrolling. And then it's like, damn, I got to rewind the movie.
It's because we think somebody's out there trying to look for us.
For
and talk
us.
to us. And it's not the case.
Yes.
Nobody wants your ass.
And you're thinking
Sit
I gotta
down
be
and watch your
available
movie.
in case somebody needs me for
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Is like I want to be available in case somebody needs to contact me.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
Yeah.
I wanna. I really would. I hate this shit, but I love it at the same time. Like
It's just a weird addiction that we
it's
have.
a
We just
fucking weird addiction, bro.
people who have to feel like they need to keep up with a certain image they have online, and it's I don't know what's next. I don't know what's like if there was like a major blackout like on all these phones and we couldn't use them for like a whole 24 hours. I'd like to see everybody's reaction to it.
I think I'd be more disappointed I couldn't get the Pornhub.
Right.
Like that'd be the biggest disappointment.
X videos.
You
Because
can't
then
use
I
your
have
imagination.
I have to go back to that. Takes me a little longer. It'd be like a 30-minute workout for when I could just got a Pornhub. It took me 10 minutes to do one, two, three. Like, yeah, imagination is great. That means I got to go back into my collective, think about people I had sex with. Like, nah, give me something fresh and new and exciting on my phone.
You mentioned Pornhub twice now. What's like your number one search on Pornhub? Like, what's like your go-to if you want to get off like nice and quick, like quickie? Ebony girl on girl.
No, actually, it's the
said
complete opposite.
quickie.
Verbal.
Verbal.
Verbal, like
The fuck-
ASMR shit. Like
What?
they whisper into the microphone and it gets you.
I just like to hear shit.
Wait. That's a category. Wait.
It's just verbal.
How does that? Wait.
I'm
What do
not
you?
going to
We're
say
gonna
any
go- we're
words
gonna go
after
look it up
that,
now.
but it's
What
verbal.
is verbal? So it's not necessary. Oh, so it's like just like basically instrumentals of sex.
Oh shit!
Like-
I like verbal.
You can go to
Like,
YouTube for that, girl. Damn, you didn't go to Pornhub. You probably find it on YouTube.
So it's just like dirty talk. Oh,
In the-
they have that?
Why not?
Yo, I didn't even know that was like a category. Wow, your experience.
Yo,
You really just blew my mind because I watch mad porn. I've never even thought of that.
dirty
I
talk.
make an effort each episode to get to know y'all at least once on like one new thing, and that was definitely the one
That's
thing I was looking
different.
for from you. That's
For me, the fuck is
it's
going on,
I
Jeff?
like to learn something new from like each of y'all. and that's very
no.
new. Like
Verbal, yeah. I'm all
That's-
about that, talking in my ear.
Mm.
So,
I can only imagine what you guys are gonna teach me today on today's episode. Like, what are y'all? The fuck?
everybody's different.
No, I'm not judging. That's research needs to be done.
I
to
mean,
see
I
this is
watch
real.
everything. Like when it comes to porn, I have came to everything. No
Right.
lie. Except for animal sex. I don't believe in bestiality, none of that bullshit. I have a dog, yo.
Mm.
Right.
I had turtles growing up. That shit is just nasty.
Yeah, it's OD.
But yeah, I've masturbated to gay porn, straight porn, men on men, women on women, cartoons, anime,
Oh, yeah,
or
that's regular. That's like level 1 for the.
Yo,
For
clearly
everything,
that's
right?
Jeff's favorite category.
When I-
Anime?
13-year-old me, bro. It was in the favorites. Like,
No,
wasn't even my
but
computer.
It's not,
Oh
it,
my
it would
God.
be more like the crazy stuff in anime, like the octopus or something,
Oh, nah.
the hentai, the little crazy shit, like crazy shit. Midgets, I don't see the purpose
That's
of
so
them on
funny.
porn. Like, I don't get it. It's just weird.
midget porn.
Yeah, when you see a tall person fucking a midget, it's just like, girl, you don't hurt, or like, guy, like, it's just be different. The positions,
It's
just
funny.
like the height is so off.
It's funny because like that's what they. All right, so the day Avengers Endgame came out, Jay-Z actually did the B-Sides 2 concert at Webster Hall, the reopening of Webster Hall, and he did a freestyle dedicated to Nipsey Hussle. I have the lyrics in front of me. I actually have just the verse of the freestyle that kind of had ruffled some feathers, and I would like our resident rapper to read these lyrics if he can, because I can't do it any justice. Here are the lyrics.
I hope y'all don't expect me
Sir.
to read it the way he rapped it.
You a rapper?
No, just read it.
Just
Yes,
read
no.
it.
CR, the beat's playing right now. Go.
Come on,
It's not
bro.
Jay-Z
I'm just gonna
karaoke. Just read it.
Yeah,
not
just read it.
Gentrify
Wow.
your own hood before these people do it. Claim eminent domain and have your people moving. That's a small glimpse into what Nipsey was doing. For anybody that's still confused as to what he was doing, the neighborhood is designed to keep us trapped. They redline us so property declines if you live by blacks. They depress the asset and take the property back. It's a ruthless but a genius plan, in fact. So now we fighting over scraps, crabs in the barrel, but crabs don't belong in the barrel, and they never even tell us that. So in the barrel, we gonna act like. So in the barrel, we gonna act like we act. We can easily get out of the barrel if we stand on each other's back. Whoever gets on top, as long as they stay attached, they gonna pull everybody out. I was doing just that.
So the line referencing gentrification kind of got people upset because when they opened the Barclays Center, apparently it was like a lot of like landlords going around,
Eminent domain.
kicking people out for a certain amount of money and leaving people homeless. And people were thinking like, Jay, you can't talk about gentrification if you're part of gentrification in a way. You know what I mean? I was curious what y'all thoughts were on that.
That's a good point.
Can I see that line one more time about the gentrification? So I could get
Yeah, read it again.
that gentrification.
Do it in Jay's voice this time.
Oh my god, I'm only reading that one. Do it in Jay's voice.
Yeah, do your best Jay-Z impression. He's
It's your
listening. by the
boy.
way.
Gentrify your own hood.
It's a young Jay-Z right there.
But yeah, gentrify your own hood before these people do it. Okay, I get what that line was supposed to mean.
Right.
But still, like, isn't that perpetuating gentrification even if you're the first to do it? You know what I'm saying? Is there such thing as gentrification the other way around? Like,
What would that be called?
what would that be called? Is he talking about
That
us
would be
on the other
called
side
giving-
of
That
it?
would be called upgrading your community.
Because I think
Yeah.
that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But people took it as like just the word gentrification. I think they just took the word gentrification
And ran
As
with it.
and it was like, Hove, you were the face of Barclays. You own all the seats in Barclays.
He was
You
the
kick
face of Barclays to give Brooklyn hope and to give people of
Jobs.
color. Like, it was a lot of.
It's a lot of black
It's a
people
lot.
that
It's a
work
lot.
at
Yeah, it's a lot
Barclays,
of.
bro.
It's a lot
It's a
more
lot of
because
black
he's
people
not
that
even
work
like
there.
a own. Like he's like a what?
He owns like 1% or something like
yeah,
that.
0.01% or something. Like, come on, people.
Of the
like,
Nets or of Barclays Center?
The Barclays.
of Barclays, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's
I think
just,
he had to give up his ownership in the Nets in order to be a partner in Barclays.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
because it would have
right?
been a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
And I don't think the way I see Hove, my perception of him, I don't think he would be involved if he knew this is what it would take. Landlords fucking
He
taking
knew,
a certain
I
but
don't
he
think
knew,
so.
he knew.
don't
That's
feel
it's
that.
called business.
Yeah.
He knew
It's
the specifics.
business. Yeah,
I
they
think-
all know the specifics. Like, what you think is gonna happen when it's something like the Barclays comes into an area like that? That was the
Rent's
first
gonna
thing
go
everybody
up.
said when they found the
Rent's
Barclays
gonna
was
go
coming.
up.
Yeah,
I think it's
People
in that
getting
same
moved out.
freestyle. He kind of had a
But
line
he
referencing
knew.
that though. Like,
he knew.
but there was a line in that I think that same freestyle where he was like, "Damn, like He just-
That's what I
didn't-
tried to do.
he just didn't have the knowledge." Like,
I'm not mad at that.
I
'Cause
don't believe that. I think it's just one of those things where it's okay.
but when
It's
you
one of
don't,
those, I said it's okay. It's one of those things where it's just like, what did the people say about 9/11? You're gonna kill a few thousand to save a few billion.
Mhm.
So that's what happened.
but when you don't know, you don't know. So I feel like there's just certain things that like can
As
go
woke,
into the creation of a fucking stadium, a place like that. Like,
Jay-Z
there's
knew.
so many. Maybe he knew, but
you know, and he's from New York. You know, like every
Yeah.
New
Yeah,
Yorker.
He's
you
from
know,
Brooklyn, more specifically.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know.
So he knew.
You
Yeah.
knew.
He most certainly knew.
yeah,
There's no way he couldn't have.
that's right. I don't know. I just look at Hope as a different type of person. Maybe he didn't know, wasn't fully aware, and maybe he's regretful for it now.
Giving
Maybe
him a lot of
High
slack.
five, yeah, because that's how I said it for Kanye. So you go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. You give him a lot of
Go
slack.
ahead.
yeah,
Not a
that's
snack.
yeah. But yeah, people were really upset about that online, and
I mean,
people get upset.
Jay Z
Yes.
don't own
Especially
Brooklyn.
online.
So the thing, Jay Z don't own Brooklyn. There's a lot of people who was in Brooklyn before Jay Z who was supposed to do some things. Like, what does Spike Lee do for Brooklyn?
Yo, I have a story.
He'd be
about
the
Spike
main
Lee,
one
too.
talking about gentrification, but he don't even live in Brooklyn. So it's just like, you know.
He shot a lot of movies in Brooklyn. Though.
Yeah.
He brought a little business into
he
the
brought some
neighborhood.
business, yeah.
Yo,
He used to have his store, 40 Acres and a Mule, downtown. I don't think it's still there. But
what's so fucked up? We should have started this podcast. I should start this podcast by saying rest in peace to John Singleton.
Word.
Yeah.
How
Brought us so
about
many
how young he
classics.
was when he
50,
died of a
50.
fucking stroke?
Yeah.
To me, that's young.
That's
51.
mad young.
That's fucking young.
Mad young.
To die of a massive
50.
stroke? Hell yeah.
Like,
It's crazy.
my favorite piece of work that he's ever done was the Remember the Time video. Like, that's
Oh,
my favorite
I
video
love
of
that
all
video.
time.
I
like,
love that song.
and
I
the
remember I
song and
stayed
video.
up late to watch the fucking premiere of it.
And, like, of course, like, you know, Boys in the Hood, Baby Boy,
Of course.
Ugh.
Poetic
Classics.
Justice,
That shit blew my
Higher
mind.
Learning.
Classics.
But, like,
Saw all those movies.
it's
High
You
just,
know, the
Learning.
Tribeca
Oh my
was
God,
they
High
doing a
Learning.
free screening today of Boys in the Hood.
really.
Oh, I would have, if I didn't known, I would
on
have
his
I would've
remembrance,
gone.
Yeah.
Oh, we probably had to record.
Do y'all have like any deeper connection to any of his films, like growing up?
Everything.
Boys in the Hood,
All
seen
of
it
them.
in the
Yeah.
theaters.
Every single last one. High Learning had me. Everything. That's like every John Singleton film. I watched it,
Baby Boy.
loved it.
Mm-hmm.
He laid the blueprint for all
I
these
hope he
other
didn't do
directors,
Love
right?
Jones. Then I'd be lying because I never saw Love Jones.
I haven't
but
seen Love Jones.
No, I think some. I didn't think.
I think that was somebody else.
Was
yeah,
Lorenz
but-
Tate in Love Jones?
Yeah.
So maybe I did see it.
But John Singleton definitely a part of my childhood. Definitely part of just growing up.
Mm-hmm. Big part.
Yeah.
He died too soon, definitely.
He
Wasn't expecting that one at all.
rest in fucking peace. That's what I was saying.
Definitely.
How much time we have left? 5 minutes? No time.
-7 minutes.
Oh
Oh
shit!
shit, we're already over.
Peace
About
out.
to fucking hear from the studio owners now. They fucking know the time. Whatever. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this podcast, sorry we all over the place. We never have a real direction when it's just us. We just like to talk shit. We have some alcohol or a little rosé, whatever. Wherever you enjoyed this podcast, leave a rating on it. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good night.
guys.
Hey.
Don't tell Brianna and Matt.